Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya. How are you doing? The 8th day of October 2024. Hujambo mtazamaji popote ulipo. My name is Victor Olo. So today we want to get into the real gist. Being Tuesday, of course, we know the mood in the country as we speak in as far as politics is concerned. Before I get there, Vivian, Mike, and Ray, good morning.
Good morning.
Victor.
How are you doing?
Okay, Regina, we are friends, right?
Are we?
Yes, very good friends. Very good friends.
What do you want?
Actually, I don't need anything. I just need your word of affirmation that we are friends.
Where is that coming from?
I'm wondering,
No.
when someone just asks you out of the blue if you're friends,
There has to be something that is following,
what,
you know.
Exactly.
what do you really, it's like someone saying, so I love you.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
they drop the bombshell, now because I love you, blah, 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 they want something. So now that you've reminded me that we're friends, Victor,
Yes.
what do you need?
We are friends, we are good colleagues. I support Arsenal. And I got an injury here over the weekend.
Please wave to the viewers so that they can see exactly what they're talking about. No, with that hand that you got.
With a hand that is actually hard.
Yes.
Sorry about it, by the way.
Mbwekse.
Now you see, now that is what happens ukiguza mrima. Are you seeing what you did?
What do you mean?
That is just an example of what happens ukiguza mrima. And I'm saying now that yesterday we found out that we have new relations, new extension to our relations in as far as Murima East and Murima West is concerned.
Yeah.
The mountain remains as is. The mountain.
But that was unprecedented. Mike has been very much vocal in the group. That was unprecedented.
It was very unprecedented. And actually, whatever was expected is not what happened.
Yeah, because most people probably were thinking, when Rigiji called, or the deputy president called for that meeting, well, most people thought, they thought he was going to resign. But that was really not going to be the case.
Because, you see,
he was there to,
if we look at history, we've heard previous vice presidents in that dispensation actually resign in the face of that kind of onslaught or pressure.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, as they say, whatever leads bleeds, or whatever bleeds leads. So everyone was already thinking like, the deputy president, when he calls for that press briefing yesterday, it was going to be, a decision like a resignation. And I think it was even trending on social media.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the question I would want to put to you, Victor, now that you're one of the casualties. That's on a very nice note. What is the way forward? What is the way forward for the deputy president? Because we expect him this evening at 5 p.m. actually to now defend himself at the floor of the House, at the National Assembly. The National Assembly is going to be sitting from 9 a.m. and as usual, KBC Channel 1 is going to be televising live. But then from a political perspective, Victor, since you've been hosting a myriad of panelists here, both constitutional lawyers as well as, political pundits, so to speak, what card does the deputy president hold at the moment? This is purely based on your opinion. What do you think is going to be transpiring this evening?
I'll try and put it this way. The deputy president actually is playing politics. He is a politician. Let's start from there. He is a politician. And he knows that the entire process is political. An impeachment of a deputy president or any other public officer elected is a political process. Much is also a legal process. At this particular point, it's political. So he's playing that political game and that card. He's going to appear before Parliament today. The reason as to why, according to me, that he opted to go to the court of public opinion, remember he said that 7-point-something million Kenyans went to the ballot and elected the two. So he was going back to the people, exercising that aspect of Article 1, power belongs to the people. So you guys, you elected me. I'm accused, according to him, a few individuals. That's what he said. So I'm coming back to you to report as per the allegations leveled against me. Whether that was a good move or not, that depends with his advisors. But you can say that according to his advisors and his legal team, it was a good move. So what's going to happen next? He did not answer that question. Now, that is also a very smart move. They say that in war, you don't give your opponent your next move. You ambush. So that's exactly what he's waiting to do. But all of us can predict that whichever the outcome, going to the Senate, he's going to move the judiciary. Remember, he tried to give some words of accolade to the judiciary, the way they've been good, they've been, discharging their duties perfectly well in some of the cases before. He is smart. And as a politician, first of all, don't think inside the box. Think outside those boxes, not that one box. So I believe there are so many boxes, and he's decided to think outside those boxes. Remember, his opponents are also thinking. So he must also think somehow or somewhat outside, or make several steps ahead of his opponents. Okay. What is going to happen in Parliament today? He is going to be given time to execute his case. He's going to defend himself. But I don't think he's going to get that ample time as compared to what he got yesterday.
Definitely
was
I like where you're coming. Now, I also, we are
Yes.
going to slowly unpack exactly what happened, especially for, I am sure, if not everyone in the country who watched that particular live presser, you must have come across pieces of, excerpts of this particular presser. So we are unpacking that before we bring you up to speed with what has been happening. Now, I want to bring this conversation back to Mike.
Yes.
Victor, in his opinion, he says that was, we will know the ripple effect of, going to the court of public opinion when you're facing such allegations. We have seen him not resign as he was expected to. I want to throw some spanner to the works, Mike, and maybe you can respond to that, is that in the last few days we have seen public participation in regard to the proposed impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. It has been termed by different people, critics saying that was a wise move, it's good to include the public in such a process, but there are those who have said that it has been a sham. I want to quote what Martha Karua has even posted on her socials, saying that was a move of no confidence to both the president and his deputy, actually the entire government. Mike, given the turn of events yesterday and those utterances and reactions to what we have been witnessing in the last 1 week, what are we likely to see in as far as the political dynamics are at this point?
One thing that the public is expecting to see, that this is according to me, is if their views will count. Because second thing, I think another thing about the presser yesterday was buoyed by the outcome of the public participation that happened on Friday and Saturday. And given what the air or the sentiments that were vocalized by Kenyans, most of them expressed dissatisfaction with the motion itself of impeaching the deputy president, saying it's not a priority. Now, the political dynamics depend on the outcome of this impeachment motion that is tabled before Parliament. Whatever the outcome, it's going in a way to change the political direction that the country is going to take, and even the dynamics within the executive. So that is, according to me, dependent on the outcome of today's proceedings in Parliament.
Now, Vivian, during this particular presser, we heard the term family, my sons, my wife. We have seen in history, we have seen presidents also, and I'd want to refer to the late President Mwai Kibaki also coming in defense of his family. What do you think was the, import of the deputy president during his presser to mention the achievements that his sons, or rather his family has so far, and also insist that, his success is somewhat linked, is actually linked to his wife, that is Pastor Dorcas Rigathi. Do you think this was meant to change, the view of him as a man who is, and cannot be tamed and such? Because that has been said on social media.
Yeah.
What do you think this dynamic actually throws? Why was there import to actually bring this up?
I mean, just as you mentioned, I feel like it was very important for him to also have that move, a part of that particular presser yesterday, just to show that with him, his family comes first. And that was very, very important. And I'm sure that he got to win the hearts of many just by showing that family comes first. And by the way, just a look at the Deputy President's Twitter handle. On his bio, he begins by saying he's a husband, he's a father, and then the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. So it was somewhat to show that his family, yes, does come first. And also just to show that his family also has its own success away from politics. His family is also just doing okay. I know I've seen people speaking on Twitter or rather, you know, on X, and where they were just saying that, you know, I mean, why is it seeming like Rigiji is just being given everything? You know, when he said most of the properties he has, most of the wealth he has was from his late brother. But it was just to show, I believe for him, it was just to show that you are claiming that I have acquired this much wealth within 2 years. But do you know about our family history? You know, we have been wealthy, honestly. And he said that he actually got to make his most of the wealth that they have acquired was from the times of Kibaki when the economy was doing well. So I feel like for him, if you ask me, I don't think that was a bad move. I think it was a good move just to show that, well, as much as I'm the Deputy President of this country, I also have to stand with my people. I have to stand with my wife. I have to stand with my children. My family comes first, which should be the case with everyone, if you ask me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I put my voice on that as well?
Yes, you can also weigh in on that as you also tell us what to expect in the panel. I'm sure you're going to be discussing matters of politics with the latest development.
Politicians know how to play their game. One, there is that red line that all of them, I think they went to the same class and all of them passed. And politicians know pretty well that there is a line that you don't cross.
Yeah.
You and I can battle it out as men or as women or in the political arena, but do not touch my family.
Exactly.
Remember what happened to former President Uhuru Kenyatta? Yes. If you have any problem, face me, but leave my family out of this. My family is not a politician. My family members are not politicians. So if we are playing politics, let's play politics. When you cross that line, then now you're becoming personal.
Exactly.
Remember what happened to Jimmy Wanjigi? When we are fighting, let's fight out there. When you come to my home, now that is trespass. Now you are threatening my family. And do you know what happens to a man when you attack his family? Even in the jungle, the lion protects its territory.
Yeah.
Very well said. And all these questions are going to be answered at the tail end of today, and we hope so. So KBC Channel 1 is going to be live with the National Assembly proceedings from 9 a.m. And we're expecting to see Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua take to the stand, so to speak, in his defense in Parliament today at 5 p.m. And you can also be part of this conversation. You can get us on X at KBC Channel 1 to voice your views, especially after that particular presser by the Deputy President yesterday. Those were reactions and opinions of the Good Morning Kenya team this morning. Remember, they do not represent the view of the national broadcaster, but these are just opinions of journalists who have been covering whatever has been happening in the country. And also you can voice your opinion. We are open to your feedback, as I mentioned, at KBC Channel 1 on X there. Now let us continue looking at the reacts, where a section of the clergy is now pleading for the forgiveness of the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, saying the country should accept his apology. The call came even as a section of women legislators termed the impeachment a constitutional process which seeks to put in place a working government.
Please find it in your heart to forgive me.
Drawing from the public apology tendered by the Deputy President on Sunday, a section of religious leaders are calling for political truce, claiming the removal of Gachagua could destabilize an already fragile political environment, potentially leading to a deeper government paralysis. The Clergy is saying the Deputy President has already shown remorse and was ready to rectify where he had gone wrong.
Ni vizuri hata president wetu tukimwomba, kwa sababu deputy president aliomba msamaha na tukasikia. na ave tunaomba uwe na ile moyo wa kumsamehea na muendelee mfanye kazi pamoja mpaka mmalize hii kazi ambao ama safari mlianza pamoja.
Ukipinchi yeye si mapobe na wajukuu wataisha, hatutapata wajukuu, na sisi tunataka watu wa kushika mkono. Kwa hivyo tunakuomba samehe mtumishi wa Mungu, hata akiwa amekukosea nini, msamehe.
But now Kenya Party leader Martha Karua, who spoke in Nairobi, says the government successfully managed to divert the attention of Kenyans from key issues affecting the country by subjecting Kenyans to public participation on DP's impeachment.
Kenyans were not diverted from the pressing national issues to power games, and they were able to put out their pressing needs, which should be looked after rather than the power games of impeachment.
Meanwhile, a section of Kikuyu Council of Elders, led by the chairperson Wachira Kiaraho, have commended the DP for seeking forgiveness. The elders also condemned the manner in which public participation exercise was carried out, saying there was no civic education to explain to Kenyans the allegations facing the country's deputy president.
Tunasema watu wasikize na wakubali hiyo msamaha. Alafu tuambia waheshimiwa na sana kutoka kwetu. Wao sio walijichagua, hiyo uongozi wao walipatiwa uongozi na wale watu waliwachagua. Kwa hivyo ni heri wawe wanasikiza vile watu wanasema.
Meanwhile, a section of women legislators claim the train has already left the station and the impeachment motion facing the DP is backed by instruments of the Constitution. The legislators claimed the motive was driven by the desire to put in place a functional government ready to serve all Kenyans.
Kwa hivyo mkisikia tumeenda bunge kufanya maneno kule, maneno yote tutafanya ni ya kulete amani Kenya.
Hiyo mambo ya kesho ambayo itafanyika tu kikatiba. Lakini hiyo isisemekane inaleta shida katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Meanwhile, a new poll by TIFA has revealed that 41% of Kenyans are in support of the impeachment motion against the DP. The poll has also placed Interior CS Kithure Kindiki as the most likely pick for deputy president should Rigathi Gachagua be impeached.
Now, those were the reactions yesterday, and today we will know which direction the National Assembly is going to be taking. We're going to be live from 9 a.m. and at 5 p.m. we're expecting Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua there to take a stand in his defense against a planned, or rather the impeachment motion there that is moved by none other than Member of Parliament Mutuse there, Honorable Mutuse. We'll be waiting to hear if indeed what has already been presented to Parliament is going to change given the dynamics and what we heard from the Deputy President yesterday in his presser. Now, crossing over to matters devolution is that we have a new sheriff in town. Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi has been elected the new chairperson of the Council of Governors, succeeding Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru. Now, Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga takes on the role of vice chairperson. Abdullahi, in his victory remarks, promised to address ongoing challenges in resource allocation, crippling the devolved units.
Justice as she unveils the new Council of Governors.
Conducted at a Nairobi hotel saw a competitive race among 5 candidates, ultimately culminating in a victory for Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, who previously served as the council's vice chairperson.
Let's strive for excellence, uphold the values of devolution, and work closely and tirelessly for the benefit of our counties and the people we serve and our country at large.
The election process lasted over 5 hours, focusing on factors such as past participation in council meetings and regional representation. Abdullahi will be deputized by Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga.
I pledge, together with our chairperson and the entire team, to serve with dedication, integrity, a clear focus on the needs of our counties and our citizens.
Abdullahi's election comes at a time when the council is grappling with significant challenges, including delays in disbursements of equitable share from the national government.
I can confirm here that the judiciary has lived to the principle and objective of nurturing, protecting, and promoting devolution.
So as Kenya continues its journey of devolution, now in its 14th year, it is indeed also an opportunity to reflect a little bit what can be enhanced.
Addressing the meeting, outgoing chairperson Anne Waiguru highlighted the strides made in various sectors, despite a shortfall in expected funding, with only 354.6 billion shillings disbursed against a target of 385.4 billion shillings.
With respect to settlement of pending bills, as at the end of the financial year 2023-2024, counties reported partial settlement of pending bills. However, as of 30th June 2024, the outstanding pending bills for county governments amounted to 181.98 billion shillings.
Now, the chair and the vice chair, that is Ahmed Abdullahi and Mutai Kahiga, are going to be assisted by Whip Stephen Sang, Health Muthomi Njoke, Agriculture Kenneth Lusaka, Legal Ochilo Ayako, Finance FCPA Barasa, Environment Wilbur Otichilo, Arid and semi-arid areas, Nathif Jama, Blue Economy, that is Governor Paul Otuoma. Education is going to be under Eric Mutai. Gender, Simon Kachepin. Human Resource, Johnson Sakaja. ICT, that is Wesley Rotich. Land and Housing, that is Governor Anyang' Nyong'o. Resource Mobilization, that is Governor Simba Tharati. Security is going to be handled by Benjamin Cheboy, while tourism is going to be handled by Governor Tutu Patrick. Trade, and this is the only representation women have in as far as the leadership within the Council of Governors, is going to be headed by Wavinya Ndeti, while transport is going to be handled by Mohammed, well, that's Governor Mohammed. Then we have water, that is going to be handled by Governor Irongo Joshua. To matters health, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Baraza is assuring the country that the transition to the Social Health Authority is slowly stabilizing following a week of confusion and uncertainty. The CS, who was assessing the situation in Nakuru County, urged hospitals not to turn away patients, especially those seeking critical services such as renal, cancer and maternal care.
6 days since the rollout of the Social Health Authority, Social Health Insurance Fund patients have continued to express frustration, with some unable to access services or forced to pay cash. 76-year-old James Kanyore is one of those who made headlines after being denied dialysis and forced to pay cash, an amount he did not have. And on Monday, Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Barasa paid him a visit at the facility where he is finally undergoing dialysis following a heightened public outcry.
Without the cover ya 9,500 per day, my father could be dead today. Tukienda nyumbani saa hii, kuna ploti tumeuza. Right now, ule owner hapo anaiclear. Because vile tuliambiwa ni 20,000 per week, we knew that my father is dead. And I cannot see my father dead.
We are happy to report that our Mzee is undergoing dialysis at the moment. He is happy. He's not missing any dialysis. He has been registered under SHAM.
According to the health CS, no patient should be denied services.
Mimi ni patient wa Reno na tumetambika sana tangu hii shift ya NHIF to SHA. Tangu yaze tunaambiwa tulipe cash. Kama mimi ni mmoja wa mwenye ameathirika juu hata mimi nimelipa 9,500 per session na tunaendaka twice per week. Mniambie ni mtu gani ataweza hiyo pesa itatoka wapi? Kama sasa hii nimetoka huko nimeambiwa potea huko haifungui, watalipwa na nani?
We kindly request healthcare providers do not send your patients back home. Take care of the patients. The services should be there, the claims should be issued, and the process will be done and the billing as well.
She maintained that under SHA, renal patients will be receiving enhanced coverage.
The number of sessions have been increased. They are receiving medications like erythropoietin, which was not covered in NHIF. And again, their pre-transplant, transplant, that is the surgical procedure, and post-transplant or medication that occurs. So renal patients are actually one of the patients that will benefit so much from the Social Health Authority.
The CS also said that the systemic challenges experienced during the transition are being addressed and that patients who had paid in cash will be reimbursed.
We had system challenges. This was actually at the beginning because of the various challenges as you roll in a new system. But we have been able to address them and we gradually address.
To matters business, the adoption of cutting-edge technology and advanced infrastructure to support digital trade is key to enhancing borderless trade in Africa and improving revenue collection. Speaking at the official opening of the Kenya Revenue Authority Summit, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi highlighted that through stakeholder collaboration, tax administrations can embrace tech-driven solutions to facilitate intra-African trade.
Africa trades more with international partners than with fellow African countries, with intra-Africa trade standing at just 13% compared to 66.9% with the European Union and 63.8% with Asia.
It is embarrassing that the level of trade between African countries is minuscule compared to what we do with the rest of the world. We must correct some of these things.
Impediments such as insufficient digital infrastructure, tariff and non-tariff restrictions, regional conflicts, overlapping mandates and corruption continue to hinder full implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area.
We must now go a notch higher, become more facilitative, move away from being obstructionists, so that we can now really benefit from technology and also allow us to develop trade amongst each other.
We'll reach a point where we can have seamless movement of even individuals, people, without restrictions, and having all the paperwork and clearance that needs to be done ahead. So by the time you reach the border, you just cross over. Needs a lot of collaboration across countries, across agencies.
Innovative financing and stronger domestic revenue collection are crucial to closing Africa's $23 billion trade infrastructure gap.
It is only through innovation that we can enhance efficiency and effectiveness in our revenue efforts.
With 165 borders and 261 ports, Africa requires smart interconnected corridors, automated customs systems, and real-time digitized trade documentation to enable seamless cross-border trade.
KRA is exploring technologies like the Internet of Things, IoT, big data, artificial intelligence, AI, and blockchain, all poised to enhance customs' role in the international trade.
We are developing the single bond transit guarantee system. It can only be made possible through a platform, a technology platform. We are working on having a continental e-certificate of origin. It can only be made possible through a technology platform. We have digitized some of our trading operational instruments.
Experts project these solutions could increase intra-Africa trade by 25% by 2030.
Africa has the largest free trade agreement in the world in terms of population and also in terms of the number of countries. But the implementation of the African Free Continental Free Trade Area has been slow. Hence the calls for a structured trade corridors that work, as well as a sharing of information in real time to improve intra-Africa trade.
That effectively puts a cap on matters and news this morning on Good Morning Kenya, but you can be sure to just visit our website for further information on stories making headlines in business, sports, as well as matters of regional politics, as well as global politics, as we look at what is happening between Israel and Israel there with the Gaza Strip there, and also looking at the upcoming elections in November in the U.S. Well, our website, www.kbc.co.ke. I leave in the capable hands of Victor as he engages his guest this morning. We're looking at the conversations around the Deputy President's public defense, now that we're expecting him to be taking to the stand, so to speak, at the National Assembly chambers there this evening at 5 p.m. and we are going to be live. So see you then. In the meantime, have a great viewing. You can also participate on X at KBC Channel 1. Let's have a sneak peek on how the weather looks like. It's a wrap. From my end, I'm Regina Manyara. Please enter ahead.
Vibaya sana. Tena alikuwa analia kama mtoto.
Akapiga nduru.
Kama ya mama.
Ilikuwa inasikika umbali gani?
Ilikuwa 500,000 kilometers.
Wewe, ongea ile kitu unaelewa.
How did I beat you? Ati mimi peke yangu, angalia height yako, angalia height yangu. Mimi ungesema nilikutolea bunduki ilikuwa mambo ingine. Mimi peke yangu niengezaji kukupiga.
Alimkunguta, alimuchapa vibaya. Mpaka huyo askari anaanza kulia kama kitoto. Wewe mama. Wewe. Mpaya huyo ameenda China.
Sasa wewe, na hii mwili yako yote. Huyu mzee anaweza kukupiga.
Sasa wacha tu nikuulize hata wewe.
Nijibu kwanza. Si urani?
Wanakimbia? How do you run? Na wewe mwenyewe uko na bunduki, si ndio?
Alikuwa na bunduki mwenzangu.
Mimi nauliza wewe.
Hata mimi nakuuliza wewe, alikuwa na bunduki? Huwezi kujibu swali na swali.
Is a place for people like you. Who the hell do they think I am? Give me food from the pot bottom. I'll be your leader, yeah, you can follow me. I'll be your husband and baby, be my wifey. You make me feel like I've been locked out of
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what we have on People in Politics, being the Earth Day, and a lot is happening in the country, of course. Let's try and unpack what is happening. Remember, today the Deputy President will be appearing before the National Assembly in the afternoon. That's he'll be given 2 hours as per the invite given by the National Assembly. He'll be given time, if not 2 hours, so to speak, to defend himself against the allegations and somebody can say a charge sheet before the National Assembly. That is coming later on in the afternoon, and at 9 we'll be going live to the National Assembly to also get to listen to the proceedings at the National Assembly in as far as the impeachment process of the deputy president is concerned, that is going to be one packed day. But right about now, let me get you to the discussion being people in politics. I'm joined by Wafula Mutacho, who is governance expert and is also a member of Ford Kenya. Actually, he's the chairman of Ford Kenya, Bungoma branch, right?
No, it is Trans Nzoia County. Yeah?
Great. Karibu sana to the program.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana. I'm also waiting for Paul Mugambe, who is an advocate of the High Court, joining me shortly in studio. But we have to start and make it going. Wafula, let's just start where we should. And first of all, that was a long interview with the media. Yes. And perhaps somebody can say it was completely unexpected. What did you take home after all that, almost 2 hours plus interview with the deputy president?
You know, my friend, yesterday when the deputy president called for that interview, most people thought that now he's going to give out a resignation word. But unfortunately, it was just a long defensive and blame game to most of the people. So people are not expecting that. You know, like some other friends we are discussing, and we are hoping that maybe the deputy president now will tender his resignation as a deputy president, so that maybe as he move on with the life of politics, he might be acquitted from not either vying in the future when he's impeached. So most people are expecting that he could resign yesterday. Yeah, but what went around with him was just to preempt what was going to happen today in the parliament. Because, you know, it is like when the matter is in the court.
Yes.
You don't need to discuss it out of the court. You understand? Yeah, you need everything to be in court, at least to express yourself in court. You don't need to start speaking it outside the court. So we are assuming that this process of impeachment in Parliament, it was like to appear the deputy president is going to be heard, expressed, to be given time to express himself before the Parliament. That is actually the court. Yeah, but now he decided to bring it out before the sitting. So actually that was unexpected.
Yeah, but again, you know, he's a politician. To begin, he is a politician. And what if you'd say that he played that political card?
Not really, because in this sense, he defended himself on all the charge sheet. You know, he went through the charge sheet, a sort of charge sheet, actually the accusation that the MP was going to raise today before the Parliament. Now he went and preempted, you see? So it was not actually defending himself. It was like, this thing is not mine, it was for my brother. Now this is something that you need to put it before the Parliament at the right time, not outside whereby you are not questioned. No, he was trying to preempt everything. Yeah.
Okay, let's wait and see what's going to happen. But let me take you through the front page of the local dailies. Let me start with the Standard. Gachagua Gamble, that is on the front page of the Standard. Gachagua Gamble, the deputy president came out fighting yesterday, bare-knuckled against the accusations in his impeachment, calling them outrageous and ridiculous. And now he says that he will focus on the court to execute his case, but if the vote of judges fail to save him, he faces retirement from public service. That if he gets impeached. So if the courts will fail to save him, of course, holding any other office will be a no-go zone for him. So he says that he will focus on the courts to execute his case. Now, there are several accusations leveled against him. There are 9 or 10 grounds. And let's wait and see. Anxiety as teacher jobs deadline comes to an end. That's told on the front page of the Standard newspaper. State ramps up support. State ramps up support and effort to revive leather sector. This is what you have here on the front page of the Standard newspaper. Governors vote for new team as Waiguru leaves. She is leaving as the chair of the Council of Governors a year after Hamas attack war rages on, etc., etc. But now, On the front page of the Standard, Wafula, what do you make of this? We also that, based again on what you've said,
yes.
Do you think it's a real gamble?
Yeah, it is a real gamble. Yeah, it's a real gamble. Because you can see he's not stable on what he put across yesterday. He was accusing so-and-so, accusing so-and-so. The other day he was in church pleading for forgiveness. And you know, my friend, what I learned when I was still a young boy, when you want forgiveness, you first accept what you, say what you have done wrong before you seek for forgiveness. So he didn't give out what he had done wrong, what he feels he had wronged to the president or to the nation, but he barely rested for forgiveness. Yeah, so forgiveness for what? You must tell people what you are seeking
against
for
the
forgiveness.
charges leveled against him.
No, in the church. In the church, he said to the president, if I've wronged you in any way, if I've wronged you in any way, find a place in your heart to forgive me. What have I wronged you? That is where you start from.
And that is what I'm trying to say, that he's seeking for an apology from the president and members of parliament against the charges that is leveled against him, which were actually out there in public domain.
Now, that one, he could have not raised seek for forgiveness to the president. He could have gone to the parliament. Yes, it is the parliament that has raised this accusation, not the president. Yeah. So when he came out to say that, president, find a place if I've wronged you, find a place in your heart, forgive me, then he knows what he has wronged to the president. And most of Kenyans, we wanted to know what he has wronged to the president. Yeah.
Okay. That discussion coming out shortly. Let me take you on the front page of the Daily Nation. This is my defense. As on the front page of the Daily Nation, this is my defense. And now, embattled deputy president requires 117 members of parliament to block motion, while 233 votes will be required to send him to Senate for trial. That is what I have here on the front page of the Daily Nation. And as we still continue, Gachagua looks to Brothers Whale to poke holes into bid to kick him out. He made, based on the cases leveled against him, there's also that bit of his late brother, Nderitu Gachagua, and also, still on the front page, regarding the DP's legal team, which is also now been revealed by the Daily Nation, the case against the deputy president. Karua, that is not Kenya party leader, said that the president should, and the DP should both leave. And there is a story here. The curse of deputies, troubles of former Vice President Josephat Karanja, the man in a hurry. That must be a very good read, taking us back way into the history. That is on page 7. This is my defense. And now, the embattled DP requires 117 MPs to block motion, while 233 votes will be required to send him to Senate for trial. Wafula, just before that, 117 MPs, do you think this is tenable?
It's not tenable at the moment for the DP, yeah. Yeah, and you can see the way those who signed for the motion were overwhelming. So I don't expect he can raise that 117 at this moment, yeah.
Are they in politics a very long time?
I know, but you read the mood of the people. Sometimes you normally say that mimi unasoma ground. I think you have seen the ground now. Yeah? That is what you normally say.
Yeah.
Mimi napenda kusoma ground. But yeah, I think even us now, we know how to soma the ground. It's not tenable. 117, yeah.
Okay.
There are few from around Kenya who little bit withdrew. There are not more than 10. Yeah, there are few.
Okay. So the question that perhaps he did not answer is his way forward. Because now it's going to be, discussed today. It's a very busy day ahead of in the National Assembly. And if it all goes the way it's supposed to be, then the Senate will take over. My question is again, so what next for the Deputy President? What do you think is running through his mind as we speak right now?
As you said last time, he's trying to gamble whether maybe it will reach at a point whereby the president might rally his forces, at least against the MPs, to withdraw or to forgive him, whichever way. His last chance maybe to go, maybe to battle in the court of law, and which also I see an uphill again. So he's still gambling. He's still gambling.
Okay. So Paul Mugambi has also joined me in studio. Wakili, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
By the way, Paul Mugambi is also a journalist. How do you want me to handle this? You can come and sit here.
No, yeah, the shoe is in the other foot.
You can come and sit here. Good to see you, my brother.
Good to see you.
Just taking you through the front page of the pages. This is my defense on the front page of the Daily Nation,
Yes.
and this is my defense. That is as per the Deputy President on the front page of the Standard. Gachagua gamble again on the front page of the Standard. Again, for the sake of fairness, what do you make of these two headlines?
Fair enough. Give it to the editors and sub-editors of the two dailies. They're not saying they're not crucifying the guy unheard. They're just saying it's a gamble, and it's a big one because as a lawyer, I would advise you not to speak before a matter is prosecuted. In courts, there's the rule of sub judice. Here, it's before the House, the National Assembly, for that matter.
Which in this case is like a court.
It's not a trial court. It's not a trial chamber, the National Assembly. The Senate is. The Senate will be a trial chamber. The National Assembly initiates the process. So the process is quasi-judicial. It's not purely judicial process. It's quasi-judicial because at some point it will be more or less of a court. But you see, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, also introduced something special in the National Assembly, which is not envisaged under Article 150 by deciding to hear the guy. Here, the Deputy President. Okay, you'll be before the House from 5 p.m. this afternoon, which means because this was raised by members, some of the members who wanted a ruling from the Speaker that whether they'll condemn the guy unheard. I think two of the most critical or fundamental issues that were raised in the National Assembly last week were, number one, public participation, whether this matter will go to public participation and to what extent, and secondly, whether they will invite him to be heard. I think the Speaker of the National Assembly, he doesn't get credit for that. I think I would give it to him. He allowed both issues. So I think the headlines there, it's a gamble. You don't speak before the court of public opinion when your matter is before a court or before a trial chamber. And I think in this case, if I were him, I would wait for my time, the 2 hours given to him in the National Assembly, and whatever time he'll have before the Senate, which is a trial chamber with his lawyers now, to defend himself.
So this was a gamble.
Big one.
This is my defense, again, the DP. He poked holes in as far as his brother's will is concerned. And then again, what do you make of that? Because when you look at the will and some of the accusations leveled against him, he made them as point of references. And now, he tried to pour cold water on the 9 charges, 9 or 10 of them, pouring cold water one by one on all of them. But as you've said, it's not good. It's not good to talk to about a matter that is before courts.
During the nomination process, the national debate, which was aired on KBC during the elections, the Deputy President told the country that is worth 800 million. Yesterday, the Deputy President trying to tell the country that, these things are not even mine. They're my brother's.
Yeah.
So what do you believe? What would you take? And that's the risk of trying to do that before the actual date with the National Assembly, because now MPs have a chance to buttress the point that this guy is ridiculously lying. He stood before the country, he said, you know, I'm worth this much and this and this and this, and then suddenly he doesn't own anything. Suddenly his companies have never done any business. Suddenly all manner of things don't belong to him, they belong to the late brother. I think there's a misadvice from his team there, because now he gave the National Assembly and the lawyers there the time to interrogate what he said and then make what they may, and they'll put him to his defense. I can tell you today will be heated.
Today will be heated.
Yeah.
Wafula, did you at any given point imagine that you'd be here?
No.
The Constitution envisaged that.
Yes, but not that too soon.
We have to live all through these clauses. You know, can you imagine the presidential election was overturned? Yeah? 2017.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have to live all through these provisions of the Constitution. So for me, I'm not shocked actually, and I think it's good that we live all through this. And anyone can, you know, anyone can go through this, including the president. The Constitution envisages all these kind of situations and provides elaborate mechanisms for mitigation.
And also it is giving us a big stake across the continent that Kenya, the democracy of Kenya is in a higher note. Yeah, because if we can put a deputy president in defense in a continent like this, no any other continent we have seen this before. So it is giving us actually the level of democracy in this country is we are at least in a high level. Yes. So to me, I think it's okay. It's okay. So that if the deputy president can put on trial, what about the ministers? Who are, some of them are very arrogant. They join the ministry when they are just like this. Within a short time, they are billionaires. Parastatal heads. They do what they think is good. They loot. They have estates they are putting up. They feel they cannot be questioned. Now this one is a level whereby we are trying to. The country is trying to introduce that you are not above the law. You can also be raised to a certain level and questioned. So to me, we are heading the right direction. It's the right direction, actually.
There, you talked about the issue to do with our relationship and even the way the international community is now having that spotlight on Kenya. On social media, you know, people are talking about Kenya being the capital city of Africa, etc. That sounds like a joke. But, Paul, you look at it this way. It might sound like a joke. But the kind of a picture that Kenya has portrayed out there, based on what is said democratically and in exercising our constitution, many countries must be wondering, how is Kenya hacking this?
The structures.
The structures.
The structures. The Constitution of Kenya 2010 is the most liberal constitution, and they say progressive constitution you can have around. And I think having been in so many legal forums, scholarly legal forums, most people even think that we are ahead of time. Perhaps we should have the Constitution, you know, not giving too much rights. They feel, you know, it should have been a bit stringent, perhaps. But I think we're not living in the Nyayo era anymore. This is the 21st century. Look at the Gen Zs and the July protests. Forget about the violent protests, but the first two, you know, June 16, June 18th protests, largely, I think 99% non-violent, but people rising up to air their views and finally the government took a bow. Like they saying, okay, fine, we withdraw the finance bill. I think the country benefits from that. There are robust checks and mechanisms. There are robust democratic structures, and let's exercise them. Let's live through all of this. I don't think there's a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with trying the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with trying a cabinet secretary. You remember in the Uhuru Kenyatta tenure, I think twice they tried to impeach cabinet secretaries. Waiguru, one. I think, was that Kaimenyi or someone? They tried to impeach a different cabinet secretary the second time. Both of them unsuccessfully. But, I think they were being cautious on how to do it. Right now, I think the head of state had decided, okay, fine, you want to prosecute a matter before any chambers of the houses? Proceed, no interference.
Okay, no interference. Let's take a break. And we come back. I still want us to get into this. Today being a very important day in the calendar, what are we expecting in as far as this is concerned? Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
Okay, welcome back. So let me start with you again, Wafula. What do you think is now running through the heart and the mind of Deputy President? Today is a very big day for him. I don't think never in his career he ever thought that he would appear before the National Assembly to ask questions.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't expect that. But now, as per what he said yesterday, now, I think now he's going through what he said yesterday, and he's like a person who is underlining the mistakes he made yesterday. And if he's challenged by the National Assembly, it will be now very easy for the members of Parliament to highlight what he maybe is not correct compared to what he said yesterday. And that one will pin him down. Because when he said that yes, he was when he was appointed to be the deputy president, he had this amount of money, and now his son went to the bank, took some a loan of around 600 million, and you know very well what is the collateral. of 600 million. How did this, his son made this collateral more than of his all assets, you know? These are some of the things that he could have not preempted earlier. If I were him, I could have not. Yeah.
But perhaps somebody would argue that he was just responding to the accusations already leveled against him and banked with the National Assembly. So
where was he responding? In the court of public opinion?
Okay.
Is that
perhaps that is an advice from his legal team.
Okay, fine. How does that help him?
Let's assume that this is a political process that he was going through.
Fine, it is. And like
because he kept on referring to the people elected me.
He was not elected.
He was not elected.
He was
by the way.
appointed.
He was appointed. And he was running on
the
somebody's
president
shoulder.
was elected. It's not a co-presidency. All right?
That is one thing that
he was a running mate.
confusing, actually.
He was a running mate. So, and some of the things he's trying to say in the court of public opinion are pure fallacies. You can't try to condition the people that way. That's not what the Constitution envisaged. If you try to make a running mate a co-president, you get serious insubordination and nothing work in government. There's only one president. Yeah, the deputy president is the deputy president. And if you look at the wording of Article 147, you know, it refers you back on the duties. Also refers you back, you know, deputizes the president on this, deputizes the president on this. There's nothing, absolutely nothing about to take home about the deputy president. Yeah, so I think it's a very big miscalculation. Let me ask you, if you look at his entire 3-hour rant on TV, and you're a member of parliament, assuming you're a member of parliament watching that, and you're being bastardized on national tele, prime time, what would you come to do in the chambers today? It's to vote to kick the guy out. You'd wake up and come to kick the guy out. If you're Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, who was being bastardized for having a pre-election pact with President William Ruto, what did you come to do? Yeah? He made some people very angry, more than they were. And you and I are not going to vote. We're not going to debate it. We're inconsequential in as far as that debate is concerned. The people, the most consequential people in that matter right now are the members of parliament. He tried to cajole the judiciary by saying, you know, our courts are fair, our courts this, our courts that. That for me was his strategy. And I think his legal team and told him, look, bastardize the house, try to cajole the judiciary. Let me tell you something. Like for instance, he was saying the public participation process did not meet the threshold. You know, the courts are not going to deal with the legal issues raised, the grounds for removal. The Supreme Court already set the standards for what should be before courts if the matter actually ends up there. It will be the process. Not about the grounds for removal, it will be about the process. And you can see, I guess from the legal standpoint, he's trying to rely on the Martin Wambora case, which, you know, trying to set threshold for removal based on public participation. And I think the National Assembly and this figured out all through, because I can try to see the loopholes they were trying to seal in case this matter ends to court. So it was a miscalculation for him, and I think it might not help him much in the National Assembly or what he said on the national tele yesterday. Yeah.
Ofula, your party leader was adversely mentioned.
Yeah, you know, he actually has been a stumbling block, if I may say, and the package on sharing of national cake across the whole country from different tribes. He went in openly saying that this is shares. How much have you brought to this table? Your shares. You know, that thing alone didn't go down well to most of the people. So this government is for the shares. We pay taxes. We pay taxes. Like me, I pay a lot of taxes. Even sometimes my wife asks me, why are you giving out all this money? And yet we are not yet certified, you know. We pay taxes. And now when you say that the shares, then we want to see how many people pay taxes and they are not taken care of.
Yeah.
That was the worst statement the Deputy President gave out. And again, yesterday when he was mentioning the Speaker of National Assembly, that was promised 30%, and he has not been given. It was like trying to get sympathy from different quarters. Yeah.
It was whipping emotions.
Actually, yes.
Okay, but you say that's whipping emotions?
It was whipping emotions. I think
with the support, of course, the documents in supporting and
which documents? How would you prove that, for instance, Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi did not get a fair share of whatever they bargained for? You can still argue that the appointments are still being done 2 years on.
And now if we go down to Moses Wetangula and Mudavadi, what about the other people of this country?
Yeah.
What about them? Who will come in for them?
And that landscape has already changed. I hope you know that. You know, ODM was not in the picture.
Yes.
Right now it is. They have 6 cabinet secretaries. So that landscape has already, and you know the Constitution also envisages that because the Constitution talks about pre-election pact and post-election
pact. Yeah.
Pact.
Yeah.
So really, the real shareholders are the taxpayers. The shareholders are not the men and women negotiating on the table. You and I sitting down, and the real shareholders of this country are the taxpayers. And I hope one day, one time, our Deputy President will come to terms with that, because it's not about, you know, us negotiating for our positions and that's about it. We forget about the people.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, allow me to ask this. Paint for me a picture on what is generally what's happening in the ecosystem we are in right now, politically speaking, democratically speaking, and legally speaking, in as far as the whole process is concerned. Let me start with you, Wafula, because Kenya has made several strides. I'm reading a story here of Josephat Karanja. Daily Nation is saying that he was one of the men who was in a hurry. Of course, other deputy presidents also suffered the same fate. But what is in our democracy, in as far as, you know, enhancing it and building it is concerned, having this position in the Constitution, but then you have the people who are the office bearers, always in a position either to rattle feathers with their bosses or not. Do you think there is a lacuna in the Constitution to protect the positions of deputies? We've seen this one with the governors,
yes.
And now the deputy president is office is the same.
And you know, my friend, if you can go down when Moi era was there, the work of, by then it was vice president.
Vice president.
Yeah, it was not deputy president. But you know, the work and actually is almost the same. You know, the work of deputy president actually is to support the president. There is no specific function for the deputy president, no. It's not like during Moi's time that one party era whereby the vice president could be given a ministry. No.
Yes.
No. Here now today, the deputy president is the capital assistant of the president. Now, when the president is here addressing the nation, want to address the nation, and the deputy president is here, he should not preempt what the president is going to talk. We see nowadays, the deputy president could take more than half an hour lecturing to the people. The president is here. You understand? That is where things started going wrong. When the deputy president is seated with the president, and he is supposed to welcome the president to speak. During Moi's time, I remember Kalonzo could hardly take 5 minutes, 4 minutes to talk on small things and then invite the president. Because he speaks for the president. Now, in this case, the deputy president speaks for himself, the president speaks for the nation. That is where people now start going wrong. That is where the difference starts. And I know very well the difference of, you can say, during Uhuru's time, it happened. And people started saying that the president is, coming front against the president in most of the functions. Now he's taking the same problem again, the deputy president now. He wants to outshine the president by talking so many things when the president is seated, preempting the president what he's supposed to talk. Now that one cannot go well with the president and his advisory team. So I know very well, and most of the deputy president in the counties, they are facing deputy governors, they are facing the same problem. And now you see the deputy president is seeking for forgiveness. He must first learn where he has done wrong to the president before he seeks for the forgiveness.
You know what, Paul? When you look at the Constitution, Article 147, moving forward and the supporting, article there. When you look at the function of the deputy president and even the deputy governors, perhaps somebody would say the same question I've asked. There's a lacuna in terms of their duties, their job descriptions, etc., etc.
Not really.
But what do you think would make the principal assistants to the bosses have this kind of a situation we are in today? The 14 laws of power,
First of all, you should not be afraid of scrutiny. I don't think there's anything wrong with impeachment, an impeachment process. I feel there's nothing wrong with scrutiny. Yeah, people might not be happy with the national broadcaster, KBC. It's okay to criticize KBC, all right?
Yes.
People might not be happy with the president. It's okay to criticize him. Leaders are criticized daily. Leaders must be held to account daily. Leaders must be scrutinized daily. So it's okay for the parliament. They have not usurped anybody's powers. They have not gone beyond their mandate. It's actually our legal architecture is in the checks and balance mechanisms sets out the standards of accountability. And one of those standards is an impeachment process. It can be a censure motion. Kitambo, many years ago, during the Nyayo era, like you asked before, it used to be like just for Karanja. That motion was called vote of no confidence. Even Moi Savant won in 1997, moved by President Mwai Kibaki, back then a leader of opposition, and seconded by James Orengo, the now governor for Siaya. So I don't think there's anything wrong with scrutinizing the deputy president, and let's go through the hog. Let's go through the whole hog, and see what happens. If it goes through and the allegations proved, so be it.
You talk about Joseph Karanja here. You think that Moi's inner circle was uncomfortable with his independent demeanor and the desire to reorganize and control the loyalty of the central Kenya communities against central Kenya. This is Joseph Karanja from 1989. We are talking about it today.
The more things change, the more
absolutely. The 48 laws of power never outshine your master.
Correct.
So how do we tame the person who is deputizing the master? I mean, this law of power perhaps is not well taken care of. Wafula?
It is true, as I had earlier alluded, that the deputy president is the co-assistant of the president. So outshining your master, of course, that one, you're digging your own grave, of course. And I've worked in the armed forces. I've been in the armed forces as an officer. And I know when the sword is given to the president, it's not given to be shared by the deputy president. You understand that? Yeah. So the powers is actually to the president, the chief of the defense force. So when the powers of the leadership is given upon the president, the deputy president should not feel that we are sharing the same power. And you saw during the swearing in, did they even, the deputy president have a look, a touch on that sword? No. It is strictly for the president.
And there's a reason to that?
There is a reason for that. He can give a command for the defense, for anything. He can give a command. Go and attack this. It is a command. So it is not shared by the deputy president. No. Yeah.
So what do you make of this? Again, Wakili, because is it a poison chalice? Position of deputies?
No, it's not. Because look at William survived it. You just need to know how to survive. Moi Kibaki, for instance, if you watch clips from the past between 1978 and 1988, when he was replaced with Josephat Karanja, used to get to a meeting, and Nyayo comes, former President Moi comes, and I think KBC has the biggest archive of those.
You can say that louder.
And they would say, aya, sasa nafasi yangu kumwalika rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kuongea. Makofi, moja. He's nothing like a speech. Did you that a minute's lecture?
Yes, no.
You know, you're vice president. You are not a co-president. Yeah. So I hope we can learn from that. It's basically even the book you alluded to, the 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
I really hope the holders of the office can learn. You can survive, but if you want to also shape your political destiny on your own, it might be problematic.
Exactly, because you have to be loyal.
Yeah, because right now, where is the balance? I mean, it will be difficult to strike a balance. You either wait and be the deputy that you're supposed to be, or you exit.
And just a hold on that. You know, I come from Trans Nzoia. In Trans Nzoia, there is a time when the President Ruto came in. I visited Trans Nzoia County. And barely a week, the deputy president came in. And when he came in, the president had left the country. Now people are asking, the president was here. Kwani alisahau kusema nini? Then the deputy president is coming to say, or what has he brought? But immediately the deputy president left Trans Nzoia, Natembeya started a Tawi movement. Now people are asking, what concerns? He left yesterday, and here now Natembeya is abusing, Wetangula is abusing Mudavadi, abusing Ford Kenya, abusing ANC, and what have you. What is this? What are they? How? Why did he not start immediately when he was elected as the governor? Now he has started this one immediately after the deputy president has left Trans Nzoia. So people are asking such questions now. Is he trying to malice his boss because the boss was here the other week and there was nothing wrong? So in his leadership as the deputy president, he has made Holland up and falls in many occasions. Yeah.
I mean, even about that, how many allies has he made beyond Mount Kenya? And the more fundamental question today, on tonight when the members of parliament will be voting, how many allies does the deputy president have, even in the Mount Kenya region?
Yeah.
You cannot bank on 7 MPs to vote for you. In fact, some of them might not even be in the House, perhaps because they don't want to be seen to vote either for or against. Yeah. I think if you can give credit to Deputy President William Ruto back then, he cut a national figure.
Yeah.
It was felt in all parts of the country.
Yes.
Including Nyanza, including Rift Valley, including the Lower Eastern, including Upper Eastern and Coast and Northeastern. Look at the allies he had and how he used that as the machine for for his presidential campaign. You can't talk about the same for our Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. And look at this. I have never seen Deputy President William Ruto go to Rift Valley to say, I'm the king of the Rift. And talk about, you know, the escarpment and talk about, you know, I've never seen Tinga, Raila Odinga, go back to Nyanza to talk about the lake. You know, let's coalesce around the lake. And he's a national leader, soon to be an African leader, Pan-Africanist. So it's very difficult to be in this situation that he is in, but he has put himself there. And when you're in a grave or you're in a hole, you don't continue digging. Last night, he continued digging his own hole. So that might have been the last nail on the coffin.
I think at the end of the day, because Senate, Parliament have a deadline to meet by stroke of midnight tonight, I don't know whether this is preemptive, but Wafula, what next? Well, Parliament is going to do its work, and then either way, what do you think is now running through the mind of the Deputy President?
You know, at the moment, I don't know if he's looking for miracles. Maybe. Pastor Dorcas is a prayerful woman, I believe so. So maybe the miracles can happen now and that midnight, which I don't expect maybe. I'm a believer, but I don't see the miracles coming in. Because already he has rattled the Speaker of the National Assembly. And as a master of the house, he knows how to drive that house. Yes, he knows. He knows the standing order of the house. He knows what entails to save either the DP or to put him in another level whereby he can be rescued somewhere else. But already you can see in that newspaper Standard, he had already mentioned yesterday to the Speaker of the National Assembly where he's going to sit before him.
Perhaps you sense that the die is cast.
Oh, yeah. There you are. There you are.
Maybe not to put the cart before the horse.
Okay.
But let's see. It's now 8 o'clock. At 5 p.m. in 8 hours, you'll be before the National Assembly for 2 hours. Those are 10 hours, and perhaps a vote to be taken by midnight, so add another 5 hours. So perhaps in about 15 hours, we'll see whether the die is cast or not. But suffice to say that miracles happen. Maybe. Indeed, they could happen. I also think that if you wanted a solution to this matter, maybe it could have been sorted out before it reached here, and maybe he should not have continued to dig his hole by poking the members of the National Assembly, which I think last night was really annoying for them, watching him make all manner of allegations about them, or some of them, and trying to cajole the judiciary, trying to portray the National Assembly as the bastards, to bastardize the National Assembly and to cajole the judiciary. He has lost 14 times. 19 times. 19 times. Thanks for correcting.
It's 19 times.
He's lost in the judiciary 19 times.
Yeah, 19.
That's a record. Within a short time, in less than a week.
Less than a week, yeah.
So I'm not sure which judiciary he really wants to speak to, but give it to him. He has all manner of rights before the our judicial system, from the High Court to the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court, and maybe if his lawyers structure his case very well, Paul Muite is not a new person in those circles. I've seen likes of Tom Macharia. I worked with Tom Macharia in the BBI case, and some of them, as those of us who are the legal team in the background. And I think They're good lawyers, but you know, having a good lawyer is one thing. Having sufficient material for a matter before a court of law is different. So if they're able to challenge the process successfully, good luck to them.
Good luck to them.
If about the grounds, I don't see anything to challenge. That's before the two houses of the Parliament.
Because we're already out of time. Wafula, now, what do you think? And I want us to jump this ship pretty fast. In 30 seconds, what do you see tonight?
Tonight I'm going to see a robust debate against the Deputy President. And I can see Deputy President again misfolding himself before the House today, around in 8 hours to come, because I can see how he has been putting up his case, defense case, before time. And how he has opened up so many loopholes for Member of Parliament to pitch in. So I see a fundamental debate today. I'm waiting to see that. You know, it is something that the whole continent, the whole world will be watching in Kenya, just like that time of Gen Zs. I went to US and when I said I come from Kenya, then those guys said, Angukanai. Angukanai. No? So people, you know Angukanai, what is it? So I started explaining. So today I can see Angukanayo.
Let me ask you, Paul, what do you think today? 5 seconds.
Well, the National Assembly will ventilate on the matter. Just for information, I think it's lost that the Deputy President will be there from inception, from the time the debate will begin, not at 5 p.m. But it's time to take the floor.
5 p.m.
will be at 5 p.m. because he should be there throughout this process, in person, through his lawyers, and those kind of things. So I expect that the members of Parliament, first, the tabling of the report from public participation. Second, the moving of the motion. The mover will move the motion. Third, the members will debate for 7 hours. For 7 hours, members will debate this motion. I highly doubt everyone will get a chance because it will be like a marathon. Even here, you struggle to get space to even advertise. It will be a marathon.
It's going to be a hard one.
It's going to be a marathon.
That is going to be starting in the next 1 hour.
In the next 1 hour.
The next 1 hour?
No, 1.5 hours.
Exactly.
It's 9:30 p.m.
Going straight to the National Assembly and, of course, to just catch everything right here. It's history in the making, gentlemen. We never expected this. Even us in the media house, we never expected this because the way it started, we expected that all is well that ends well. But hey, that is democracy and this is politics. Okay, thank you so much, Paul Mugambi, who is an advocate of the High Court. He's not a journalist by profession. I feel terribly interviewing my fellow journalist. Okay, it's not easy. Wafula, Mutacho, asante sana.
Yes.
Say hi to Trans Nzoia as well. Thank you. So we are taking a break, and when we come back, we'll now be crossing over to Zinga, where Dora Mani will be handling the same issue, but now in the Kiswahili version, Hatma ya Naibu Rais. Shadrack Wamboi, who is an advocate and professional mediator, lawyer, advocate of the High Court, that is Kenneth Chesa, will also be in the chamber, as well as Gibson Gesore, political analyst, and also an advocate of the High Court. That is going to be a heated debate. Excuse me? Oh, yes, yeah, so he's around.
Yeah.
You can go and say hi to
All right.
your teacher. Okay, let's take a break. And up next is weather. Good morning.
نسمع اسم النبي لازم نصلي عليه اللهم صل عليه.
Jema ambacho mja hufanya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala humpa ajr mara 10, na kwa kila ovu ambalo analifanya mja basi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala humpa adhabu 1.
Yaani mpaka inafikia pahali mwanadamu anaweza kavuka mipaka. Ndio ile Mwenyezi Mungu anasema innal insana la yatgha, hakika mwanadamu huvuka mipaka. Arraahu istaghna, anapoona Mwenyezi Mungu amemtajirisha, Mwenyezi Mungu amempatia kazi, Mwenyezi Mungu amempatia cheo, Mwenyezi Mungu amfanyia kadha na kadha na kadha, basi hujisahau.
Swala zote na salamu zimfikie Hashimu mwenye cheo.
Born in 1948 in a small village in Kakamega, Newton Wanjala Kulundu went to Navaholo Primary School.
Huwa kumbandua mamlakani, akieleza kuwa hoja iliyowasilishwa na mbunge wa Kibwezi West Mwengi Mutuse kuwa ni uzushi na madai yasiyo. Amesisitiza kuwa hatajiuzulu na yuko tayari kukabiliana na wabunge wanaomshutumu kisheria. Mswada unatarajiwa katika bunge la kitaifa, na ikiwa utapita basi utaelekea kwenye bunge la seneti, na basi nini itakuwa hatima ya naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua. Kutusaidia kuchanganua masuala haya ya kisiasa nitakuwa na wageni ambao tayari wengine wamewasili, mwingine hajafika. Wakili na mtaalam wa upatanisho Shadrack Wambui tayari yuko katika studio zetu, wakati ambapo natazamia wageni wengine kama wakili Gibson Gisore ambaye anaambiwa pia hayuko mbali, na pia Kene Chesa wakili wa mahakama kuu atakuwa hapa kutusaidia kuchanganua swala hili. Karibu tuweze kuendelea. Karibu sana bwana Shadrack.
Asante sana.
Karibu tuweze kuendelea. Karibu sana bwana Shadrack.
Asante sana Dora, nashukuru sana kwa mwaliko. Niko sawa, niko imara. Wengine wanasema niko ngangari. Nashukuru sana.
Asante.
Asante.
Umekuwa mwenyeji wetu hapa, tutafurahi kwamba umefika tena.
Naam, juma lililopita nilikuwa hapa. Tukaweza kuchanganua mambo. Wakati huo mswada huo ambao unadai kumngatua naibu wa rais kutoka mamlaka haukuwa umewasilishwa. Kwa hivyo tulikuwa na zile tu kutabiria. Tulikuwa nazungumza tu tukitabiria mambo ambayo yatakuwa siku hiyo tarehe 1 siku ya Oktoba. Lakini tuseme hayawi huwa mswada ule tayari ulishapendekezwa pale na mheshimiwa Mwingi mutuse, wengine wanasema ni mwingi wa matusi, lakini yote 9 wacha tujadiliane.
Naam, shukrani sana, na pia naona tayari amefika bwana Kene Chesa, wakili wa mahakama kuu. Karibu.
Asante sana.
Uko mzima?
Niko mzima, ni buheri wa afya.
Wanasema hayawi itakuwa, na leo ndio ile siku basi ya shughuli nzima ambayo itakuwa inafanyika pale katika bunge la taifa. Lakini tuanzie siku ya jana ambapo naibu rais aliandaa kikao na wanahabari. Wengi walitarajia kwamba atajitokeza labda kutangaza kujiuzulu, jambo ambalo alisema kwamba hatajiuzulu. Lakini swali ni je, ilikuwa ni jambo la busara kutokana na kile ambacho mlifuatilia, tathmini yenu ya ile press conference? Ni kitu ambacho alihitaji kufanya?
Naam, jana hapo saa 1 usiku watu kwa kweli walikuwa wanatarajia kwamba naibu wa rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua angejitokeza kimasomaso aweze kujiuzulu kwa sababu ya madai mengi takriban 11 ambayo yamependekezwa pale katika bunge ambayo tunatarajia atazungumziwa leo. Lakini tuseme kwa hulka yake pengine ya kujigamba kama mtoto wa Maumau, katokea pale katuashiria kwamba ana ujasiri wa kutosha, akatuashiria kwamba ana majibu ya maswali yote ambayo yanaulizwa pale katika bunge letu la leo. Kwa hivyo kwa mtazamo wangu mimi naonelea kwamba ilikuwa muhimu sana. Mimi kama jamaa ambaye pengine kama wakili ambaye kila siku naelekea pale mahakamani, kuna ile kuiba kwa kimombo wanasema stealing the thunder, ama kuiba ile tuseme ile thunder ile ya pande ile ingine. Kwa hivyo leo jana tuseme jana alipozungumza mambo yale yote na akajaribu kupeana majibu ya maswali yote, alijaribu kuashiria Wakenya ya kwamba madai yote ambayo yanapendekezwa pale katika bunge letu ni madai ambayo ni gushi, madai ambayo hayana hoja, ya kwamba kwa yote 9 pengine 10 vita ambazo tunashuhudia si vita za kumfaidi Mkenya wa kawaida, ni vita ambazo zinamfaidi, ama ni vita ambazo zinajaribu kuwafaidi wale mabwanyenye, ama ni vita za kidosi. Kwa hivyo hayo tu ndio pengine mtazamo wangu mimi nilionelea, na mimi nikaonelea kwamba kulikuwa na jambo la busara sana yeye kuja pale, kwa sababu leo tunapomtarajia pale saa 11 jioni aje pale, atakuja pale bunge, kutakuwa na zile sheria za bunge. Pengine zile sheria za bunge zingemkataza usemi wa mambo fulani ambaye angependelea kuyasema kwa uhuru. Kwa hivyo kufikia jana alikuwa na uhuru wa kuzungumzia mambo yote ambayo alikuwa anafikiria kwa Wakenya yatakuwa na manufaa, ili kuonyesha ya kwamba mambo yale yote, madai yale yote ambayo yako pale bungeni ni madai tu bure tu, madai bwege, madai ya kumpaka tu mavi yule naibu wa rais na kumuonyesha ya kwamba hafai.
Okay. Asante bwana Ombuyo, umesema kwamba ilikuwa ni busara. Kwako bwana Chesa, unasemaje kwamba kulikuwa na haja akijua kwamba leo ana nafasi ya kujitetea kwa masaa 2 bungeni?
Asante sana kwa nafasi hii. Kwangu ilikuwa ni hotuba potovu, ilikuwa ni hotuba iliyojawa na kejeli, ilikuwa ni hotuba iliyochochea hisia za huruma, ama iliyolenga kuchochea hisia za huruma miongoni mwa Wakenya, lakini hotuba ambayo haimfaidi kwenye kesi inayomkabili kule bungeni. Ilikuwa ni hotuba ambayo alijaribu kuweka madai ambayo pengine mengine yalikuwa na msingi wa kisiasa, lakini hayakuwa na msingi wa sheria na msingi wa sera. Utagundua kwamba wakati wanahabari walipotaka kumuuliza maswali, alikosa la kuwajibu, na kuna mwanadada aliyemjia na kusema, ndugu yangu unachoma, usiendelee kuyajibu haya maswali. Kama kweli angekuwa ni mwananchi ambaye alikuwa na tabia na mwongozo wa kitaifa, angeyajibu yale maswali. Na swali la kwanza lilikuwa ni swali elekevu. Walimuuliza, ndugu, ulionekana kusema hili na sasa unasema hili, hebu fafanua. Akasema kwamba yeye hatofafanua kabla ya kukosa kuwajibu wanahabari. Kumbuka maswala aliyoibua ni maswala nyeti ya kisiasa, na mchakato wa kumuondoa mtu mamlakani kwa msingi wa katiba ni mchakato wa kisiasa. Anapodai kwamba ilo swali la hisa, kwamba aliyeweka sahihi ni rais wa taifa na kiongozi wa bunge la taifa Wetangula na kiongozi Kingi, anajaribu kusema kwamba nitakabiliana na nyinyi kisiasa. Kwa hivyo hotuba ya jana ilikuwa ni hotuba iliyoshughulikia msingi wa siasa. Hajajua kwamba mchakato wa sheria mchakato wa kumuondoa una msingi wake wa kisheria katika bunge la taifa. Yeye anaenda mbele ya jaji leo, jaji ambaye ni Wetangula na baadaye Kingi, lakini kwenye hotuba yake anaonekana kuwakejeli kwamba hawa ni wanahisa wa 30%.
Lakini nikukate kidogo tu bwana, amesema bwana Shadrack kwamba zipo sheria katika bunge labda ambazo zitamzuia kwenda zaidi ya vile angependa kujieleza. Labda alikuwa na haki ya kujieleza na pia kikatiba, freedom of speech.
Unajua haki ya kikatiba haipaswi kuwa ni haki ya kukandamiza haki za wengine. Anapowataja vigogo wenzake kwenye hotuba yake, vigogo hawapo kujitetea. Mimi katika mazungumzo yangu leo na Channel 1 KBC, siwezi mtaja mtu ambaye hayuko hapa na ana uwezo wa kujitetea. Anapoenda katika bunge, kuna sheria za kulinda mashahidi, na sheria ya kupeana ushahidi ni sheria ambayo imelindwa kikatiba. Iwapo atanyimwa wakati wa kujieleza katika bunge la taifa, utakuwa ni msingi dhabiti wa yeye kuelekea mahakama kuu na kubatilisha mchakato wote wa kumuondoa. Kwa hivyo kwangu, nafikiri kwamba naibu wa rais alipotoshwa na vibaraka aliowaita washauri.
Asante. Osa tumlete bwana Gibson Gisore ambaye pia amewasili. Bwana Gisore, karibu.
Asante sana.
Wenzako wana maoni tofauti kuhusiana na kama kulikuwa na haja ya hotuba ya naibu rais hiyo jana, akijua kwamba leo ana masaa kujitetea bungeni.
Mimi ningependa kulijibu kwa kusema kwamba ndio na la. Ndio kisiasa, la kisheria. Mbona niseme hivyo? Kisheria ni sio vizuri kuanza kucheza zile kadi zako peupe ambapo kila mtu anaziona. Zile defenses aliweza kupeana pale ni vitu ambao kidogo tulikuwa tunangojea saa 11 leo. Sasa ashasisema. Sasa hata watu wataweza kujipanga. Ni kama ushanoa kisu ukaonesha kuku. So hiyo hapo kuna shida kidogo. Pata kulingana na kisiasa ni vizuri kwa sababu kulingana na yeye aliweza kujitetea. Nilikuwa njiani na travel lakini nilikuja nikaipata nikaiangalia baadaye. Na yale maswali ambayo alikuwa anaibua ni kwamba public participation ikifanyika hakuhusika. Hakupewa nafasi ya kujitetea ama watu wake ama ilikuwa ni sham. Sasa ilikuwa ni vizuri Wakenya ambao walimchagua wale 7.2 aweze kujitetea mbele yao. Na hiyo ilikuwa kidogo mimi nafurahia kwamba aliweza kutokea pale. Tumeweza kujua mengi kutoka kwa ile taarifa yake. Na aliweza kufichua mambo mengi, tukajua wenye hisa wale alikuwa anamaanisha, tukajua mambo zingine mingi ziliweza kutokea pale. Na kama mwananchi kuna vitu hatukuwa tunafahamu, tumeweza kuvifahamu. Zile tetezi ambazo wamepeana pale, zingine aliweza kusitifua na kusema kwamba hakuna kitu hapa. Na hiyo hapo ni ukweli ambayo tutajua kutoka leo saa 11 kidogo tutajua kuna mchezo tunachezewa kama wananchi wa Kenya. Na ni vizuri tujue kama wa Kenya kwamba kuna mtu anatuchezea. Kama kuna mtu anatuchezea tujue ni nani, na watu waliweza kutajwa wengi, si wachache. But kwa kisheria vile ndugu yangu amesema pia kuna taswishi pale, kwa sababu sio vizuri uweze kuwataja wale watu kiolela na kuweza kusema mambo ambayo kidogo inaadhia hadhi ya watu ambao ama ni viongozi ambao wako serikalini ili waweze kuonekana kwamba but pia katika kisiasa ni mzuri kwa sababu ni kama ni political strategy yake, kwa sababu hajui vile hii mambo itakwenda, ama yeye mwenyewe ameshapima akajua hapa washaamua, kipenga imepulizwa, sina namna ya kurudi, wacha ni mwage mtama kwenye kuku ndio kila mtu ajue. So kulingana na mimi aligain politically, kulingana na mimi kisheria kidogo inaweza mletea shida, but ni kitu ambayo anaweza manage.
Okay. Sawa. Asante sana mwelekezi wangu Ben upande wa pili. Lakini rudi kwako Shadrack. Wewe umekuwa ndio unasema kwamba alikuwa justified, ilikuwa ni sawa kujitokeza. Na kuna kitu ambacho alikuwa anataka labda kuweza kuwasilisha kwa wananchi, wakaweza kusikiza upande wake, na amesema labda bungeni sheria hazingeweza kumruhusu kufanya vile. Baada ya kutathmini na kumsikiza vizuri, wapo wanaosema pia kwamba ile hotuba ilikuwa ni kama ya kutangaza mali, wealth declaration, na pia kutangaza basi uko na kiwango kipi, ile inaitwa public audit ambayo imekuwa ikizungumziwa kwamba sasa hiyo ndio hiyo hotuba iliachieve. Hakuna mambo mengine, na labda wa Kenya kutafuta huruma kutoka kwao. Sijui kwa dakika moja tu unasemaje kwamba ni huruma alitafuta na alipata, na pia basi alitangaza tu kwamba hii ndio mali niko nayo.
Naam, nadhani watu wote ambao wanatuhudumia katika sekta tofauti za kiserikali wana jukumu la kututangazia mali yao. Kwa hivyo mimi ninapoketi hapa sioni kama kuna kosa lolote lile la mtu yoyote haswa naibu wa rais kututangazia mali yake. Ni lazima tujue ili tuweze kumpima, tujue huyu ametuiba kiasi kipi, kama ametuiba, na kama pengine amekuwa akifanya kazi atuelezee basi sources ama pesa zake zimetoka wapi. Kwa hivyo mimi sionelei kuna kosa lolote. La muhimu sana tuliloshuhudia jana, na nadhani pengine uliweza kumsikiza sana kwa makini sana, na ile tabiri ama tuseme pengine jambo tuliloonyeshwa sisi kama watazamaji na wasikilizaji ni kwamba yeye hana matumaini ya kupata haki mbele ya Amason Kingi ambaye ni spika wa seneti, na hana matumaini ya kupata haki pale katika bunge letu mbele ya huyu spika Masika Wetangula Moses. Kwa hivyo ni jambo tu la kikawaida. Tunaona hata kabla swala hili liwasilishwe pale bungeni tarehe 29 mwezi wa Septemba, spika wa bunge Moses Wetangula alienda akasema kadamnasi ya watu, akasema ya kwamba yeye kama mtu analeta fujo angolewe. Kwa hivyo tayari alikuwa ameshatuelezea uamuzi wake ni upi. Yule pia deputy speaker wake Gladys Boss-Sholei pia yeye alikuwa na nafasi yake pale katika county ama jimbo la Nandi, akatuelezea kwamba yeye mwenyewe haswa ataweza kuwasilisha hoja na aweze kumngatua pale mamlakani. Kwa hivyo ni jambo alikuwa anatuashiria ya kwamba mwanzo wa ngoma ni lele, ya kwamba tunaanza tu na vita hivi vinaendelea mpaka pale mahakamani. Kwa hivyo tusubirie mpaka mahakamani, na akajaribu, kwa sababu mahakamani mawakili mambo mengi wanazungumza kwa kizungu na kimombo kingi sana, wananchi wengi hawataweza kukielewa. Kwa hivyo mapema wanasema ndio best. Kwa hivyo akaweza basi kuja pale mbele kutuelezea kwamba yeye kulingana na yeye madai yote ambaye anadaiwa amefanya kuna ushahidi. Ikija ni mambo ya shareholding akajaribu kutueleza, na ndiposa nikidhani akaweza kumtaja mheshimiwa Amason Kingi kwa kusema ya kwamba kulikuwa na mswada, kulikuwa na ile agreement, wamekaa chini wameandikiana ya kwamba yeye atapokea kitu fulani, wale akina Musalia Mudavadi mheshimiwa pia yeye atapokea kitu fulani, kiwango fulani. Kwa hivyo ni jambo tu nikidhani katika ile tuseme ile dai lake la kuwa mtu msema kweli, alikuwa jaribu tu kuonyesha ushahidi ya kwamba yeye alikuwa anajaribu kuzungumzia pale kwa sababu umetaja spika wa seneti na vile spika wa bunge la taifa na kwa mfano spika na naibu wake upande wa bunge la taifa kujitokeza kwamba wako tayari pia kwa mchakato huu na umesema naibu rais ni kama alikuwa anaona tayari hawezi kupata haki pale anakokwenda kujitetea. Kisheria labda ingekuwa bora ama pia ili kumwonyesha kwamba haki ipo, labda kuwe na spika wa muda kando na spika wa sasa ambaye ni Moses Wetangula na naibu wake Gladys Boss, na pia upande wa bunge la seneti, manake wataenda seneti, itakuwa bora labda kuwe na maspika wa muda na inakubalika kisheria. Na hoja hili liliwasilishwa hapo awali nikidhani tarehe 1 mwezi wa Oktoba. Spika wa bunge Moses Wetangula pia alijaribu akatoa uamuzi, akasema ya kwamba yeye alitoa tu hoja zake kama tu mtu tu binafsi na hana kura pale katika bunge. Lakini sisi wote tunajua ya kwamba mchakato huu wote ni wa kisiasa. Ni mambo tu ya kidemokrasia, ni watu kupiga kura, si kuangalia ushahidi ulioko pale. Kwa hivyo mtu yeyote ambaye ana fikra zake timamu anaelewa ya kwamba huyu naibu wa rais hatapata haki yake katika seneti ama bunge, kwa sababu hana ushawishi wa nambari. Wale watu ambao wanatuwakilisha katika bunge lile la seneti na la National Assembly hawako upande yake, kwa sababu tumeona kufikia sasa watu wa ODM, wabunge wa ODM, wa chama cha ODM tayari wameshajiunga mkono na chama cha UDA. Kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha ukiangalia takriban ya watu ambao wako pale tayari na ni watu ambao hawasomi miswada. Watu wengi ambao walisahihisha ile mswada wa kumngatua kutoka mamlakani hawako hata wameusoma. Shikilia pale bwana Shada. Tunilete bwana Jessa, naona kidogo anaumwa tu, anataka kusema jambo. Umesema tayari angengoja bunge. Leo ni siku yake. Ataenda kwale pale, lakini pia spika alitajwa katika nyumba zote mbili. Mabunge yote mawili. Unatarajia vipi kwamba alikuwa na haki ya kujitetea na kuwataja, alikosea, na ndani yake labda kidogo anahisi kwamba huenda asipate haki na hao wangejiondoa wengine wakuwe pale?
Dada, umejua mchakato wa kuondolewa mamlakani kwa rais na naibu wa rais ni mchakato wa kisiasa. sio mchakato wa kisheria pekee, ni mchakato wa kisiasa, na ni siasa itakayotumika yeye kuondolewa au yeye kubakishwa. Hii si mara ya kwanza afisa wa ngazi ya juu serikalini kuwaitolewa na bunge la taifa. Kumbuka Josephat Karanja alipokuwa makamu wa rais enzi zile, bunge kupitia kwa mbunge wa Embakasi wakati ule David Mwenje aliwasilisha mswada wa kutokuwa na imani, na makamu wa rais alijiondoa. Hakuwa na makosa. Profesa Mtajika aliyekuwa makamu mkuu wa chuo cha Nairobi, lakini kwa sababu zilikuwa ni sababu za kisiasa ilibidi amejiuzulu. Hivi majuzi Waziri Linturi katika sakata ya mbolea, mswada ulipoletwa bungeni, madai yale yalikuwa na msingi mkubwa sana na hisia za Wakenya zilikuwa kwamba aondolewe, lakini sababu ulikuwa ni mchakato wa kisiasa, bunge halikumuondoa, lilimtetea. Rigathi Gachagua itakayomuondoa sio msingi wa sheria, msingi wa haki na msingi wa ukweli. Ni siasa katika bunge la taifa na bunge la seneti, na bunge lina kanuni zake. Iwapo Wetangula amekosea ama Kingi kukosea kuyanena walioanena kwenye umma na mswada unakuja mbele yake, nimeona Rigathi Gachagua ana kundi kubwa la mawakili likiongozwa na wakili mkuu Paul Muite. Basi swali lao la kwanza litakuwa ni kutaja kanuni za bunge la taifa kwa msingi wa spika kujiondoa kwa madai ya kutamka haya nje ya bunge. Haya si maswala ya kujadiliwa kwenye makao ya makamu wa rais, ni maswala ya kuibua kwenye ukumbi wa bunge na kuambia kwamba kanuni nambari fulani spika haikuruhusu kuongelea hili mahala hapa. Kwa hivyo kwa hilo jiuzulu, na spika atapeana uamuzi wake. Na hapo spika atajiuzulu, sawa. Asipojiuzulu kwa kikao cha leo, sawa. Mimi ningekuwa ni wakili wa Rigathi, ningeomba sana spika akose kujiuzulu. Hata singeuliza ajiuzulu leo, kwa sababu najenga msingi wa maswala nitakayopeleka kwenye mahakama kuu ili kubatili uamuzi wowote ambao bunge litafanya. Lakini akiendelea na mbio ambazo anaendelea nazo na ushauri ambao anaupata na kuropokwa mara kwa mara, huenda mwishowe maji yakamwagika.
Kwa hivyo waelekezo wake wampeleki vizuri.
Hawampeleki vizuri kisheria.
Bwana Gisore, ulisema kwamba katika swala hili zima ilikuwa alifanya vizuri na hakufanya vizuri, lakini pia ujasiri alioonyesha jana pia akizungumza na wanahabari, na ule ujasiri hadi akataja kwamba haoni kama madai ambayo yametajwa dhidi yake yana msingi wowote, kwamba yeye yuko safi kabisa, na hata leo anangoja kutakuwa kivumbi, itakuwa ni historia katika siku hii ya leo katika bunge. Inaashiria ni kwamba labda ana ushahidi wa kutosha dhidi ya masuala ambayo yametajwa, ama ni kujizatiti tu kiume kwamba aonekane kwamba mambo yako sawa.
Ajo mwanaume lazima ujikaze. Kulingana na mimi vile nimemuelewa Bwana Rigathi Gachagua kutoka mara ya kwanza akichukua kiapo, uliona kulikuwa na taswishi pale. Kiapo aliweza kukula sijui mara 3. Ya pili atakula kiapo mara 3 akaelekea kwanza madhalani mbele ya vyombo vya kimataifa. But yeye akiulizwa hakuwa na apology ya kupeana, alisema mimi nilisema ukweli. So ni mtu ambaye si muoga, ni mtu ambaye akisema kitu anasimama nayo, na huo ujasiri wake ndio umemleta mpaka mahali yupo. Nilimjua ndugu yake kidogo ule marehemu ambaye pia alikuwa katika hiyo hotuba yake, pia naye hakuwa mtu rahisi. Ni mtu, ni kama ni familia ya watu ambao ni watu wenye wanaenda kifua mbele, hawaendi wakijikokota. Ni watu ambao wanaangaliana na shida zao, na hiyo ndio niliona katika ile hotuba yake. Alikuwa na kabili ile mashtaka yote imeletwa kwake, kwamba mmeleta hili, jibu langu ni hili, kulingana na hili ndio jibu. Na kulingana na sijaweza kujua kama kuna ushahidi wa kutosha, but kulingana na ile madai ambayo ilikuwa imeletwa na yale alisema, mimi naweza kuona kwamba kama yale alisema ni ukweli, because sijui kidogo ile motion inaweza kuwa ikawa na bado kuna itilafu kidogo, kwa sababu vitu zingine alisema walete ushahidi hajatolewa na ni yeye amewapitia, na zingine alisoma verbatim zile ambazo kidogo kulikuwa na ushahidi. So ni kitu ambaye walikana na mawakili wake wakaweza kupitia Ndiposa walipoanza kuuliza maswali aliambiwa usijibu hizo, kwa sababu it's a strategy. Kisheria au mawakili wanaweza kukuambia ukiwa na kesi lazima upange, especially kesi za criminal. Unaambianga client wako kwamba usiniite kama kesi imefika kotini, niite ukiwa polisi, tuanze kupanga mambo yetu kutoka pale, ndiposa tujue vile game plan yetu itakuwa. Sasa yeye game plan yake ni kwamba aliweza kujua hii bunge itaenda kukuwa na shida, ama already kuna watu ambao washaamua Rigathi aende. Saini zimetosha, mbona wewe ukae ukimya ungoje kunyolewa? Ukingoja kunyolewa utapata umekatwa kichwa. So ni muhimu kama mtu ambaye unaweza kujitetea na ako na haki kisheria na ako na haki kisiasa, kwamba aweze kuambia Wakenya, kwa sababu ile public accountability, hiyo ndio nampongeza, kwa sababu aliweza kutoa vitu zingine hatujaweza kujua kama Wakenya. Na katika katiba yetu inasema ni Wakenya kwanza. Sasa alirudi kwa wale wa Kenya kwanza.
Serikali ni ya Kenya kwanza.
Na serikali ni ya Kenya kwanza, ili aweze kuwaambia wanajaribu kunikata kichwa, but hili na hili ndio wanataka kunikatia kichwa. Mkikubali ni sawa, niende mimi sina shida, nitaenda, but mjue ukweli. So ni vizuri, kwa sababu hangepata hiyo wakati. Mambo ikitoka pale bungeni kienda kotini, hana hiyo wakati, because sababu inaletwa zile rules sub judice. Kikuwa pale bungeni pia kuna zile sheria za bunge. So ni vizuri alikuwa mwage mtama before, ili Wakenya waweze kujua. Kuna Wakenya ukiona katika ile public participation, kuna Wakenya wengi walikuwa wanasema hatuoni haja ya kutoa huyu muungwana. Ni kama ile kesi ya Yesu walimletea mama ati amepatikana akiwa katika kitendo. Yesu akaangalia wale watu, nyinyi ndio mnaleta huyu jiji, akaanza kuandika zile nini zao pale chini. Sasa Rigathi pia na yeye, wale wanamshtaki, aliweza kuandika zile nini zao chini. So tunangoja kesho. Ile in English tunasema let the games begin now. Sasa ndio tutajua ukweli.
Na wacha nirudi kwako Bwana Wambui kidogo tu kabla turudi katika swala la mahakama. Swala hili la wananchi kuhusishwa na lilitaja sana public participation. Sema kwamba kidogo hakulifurahia vile lilifanyika lile swala. Alizungumza jana. Tathmini yako ni ipi kwamba iwapo labda angezungumza ndio wananchi waambiwa waende katika public participation, labda maoni ya wananchi huenda angekuwa tofauti, japo hatujui kikamilifu wengi wako wapi kuhusiana na kile ambacho alikuwa anatia sahihi? Ni kitu ambacho labda liashiria wangeanza na kunisikiza kwanza, ndio wananchi wapewe nafasi waamue.
Mwanzo tuseme hamna sheria yoyote ile ambayo inatuelekeza ya kwamba kutakuwa na njia fulani ya kufanya hii public participation ama kuhusishwa kwa wananchi. Lakini kipengee cha 10 cha katiba kina nukuu ya kwamba mojawapo ya zile national values na principles za uongozi lazima wananchi wahusishwe, kwa sababu nguvu zote za kikatiba, ukizingatia kipengele cha kwanza cha katiba, ni nguvu zote zinatoka kwa sisi kama wananchi, ambapo tunaweza kuzipeana kwa tunapatia bunge, tunapatia mahakama, tunapatia ile bado executive yetu. Kwa hivyo yeye, ukizingatia haswa mahakama ya upeo zaidi, ile Supreme Court, katika kesi fulani iliyowasilishwa na kampuni ya kutengeneza tobacco, British American Tobacco hapa Kenya, ile koti ya upeo ikatoa vipengele fulani ama taratibu fulani ambazo zinafaa kufuatwa ili isemekane ya kwamba kumekuwa ile public participation, kwa sababu hawa watu ambao wako katika ofisi za serikali kidogo huwa wanafanya tu kuigiza public participation ndio ionekane ilifanyika, lakini kwa kweli hawakuwa wananuia kuifanya. Kwa hivyo ukizingatia na mchakato ulioonekana siku ya Ijumaa na siku ya Jumamosi, ni mambo ya kusitikisha sana, kwa sababu siku ya Ijumaa, ile siku ya Friday, watu walikuwa wanaonekana mwanzo hawajaelewa nini inaendelea. Pili, zile stakabadhi zilizowasilishwa pale katika unajua kaunti mingi ama majimbo mengi, yalikuwa karatasi ambazo kidogo hazikuwa, pengine zilikuwa zimefanywa photocopy, ziko original, zingine zinasemekana ni gushi. Haya, ikija bado uangalie public participation siku ya Jumamosi, ni kwamba ile notice ya siku ya public participation siku ya Jumamosi ilitoka siku ya Ijumaa. Kwa hivyo unajiuliza, mwanzo kuna watu haswa hapa Gisore ni watu ambao wanaabudu siku ya Jumamosi. SDA, watu wengi sana, na ndiposa siku ya Ijumaa sisi tukielekea bado mahakamani kusema ya kwamba mchakato huu wote unafaa usimamishwe kwa sababu hausaidii, unataka tu kuigiza ile public participation. Kwa hivyo mimi kauli yangu ni moja ya kwamba unaona bunge ambalo linajaribu tu kujisitiri ili lionekane la kwamba linafuata katiba, ila hali uamuzi wake tayari umeshafanywa. Sote tunajua ya kwamba tunaongojea tu wakati leo jioni pengine saa 5 saa 6 tuelezwe ya kwamba wabunge wamepitisha mswada, umepelekwa pale seneti, tuongojee tu pia wakati pale. Kwa hivyo huyu naibu wa rais anaelewa fika ya kwamba matumaini yake yako pale katika mahakama, kwa sababu hapa katika mabunge yetu ya mawili si kuangalia uzito wa hoja, la hawataangalia ushawishi wa bwana Gachagua, la hawataangalia kana kwamba mswada ule ambao umewasilishwa pale na yule mbunge Mutuse hauna nguvu yote kisheria, la watajaribu kuangalia wameambiwa nini na vinara wao. Kinara rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya amesema nini, kinara wa chama cha ODM amesema nini, na kama amesema mswada ule upite hata bila kusoma, bila kuangalia, hata kama ni karatasi tupu tu litapita.
Lakini kwa nini swala la public participation limtatize sana, tukijua kwamba ni bunge la taifa kupiga kura zake, mwisho tunaenda bunge la seneti kisha mahakama? Hii nyingine ni mchakato tu ambao ndio kikatiba tunafaa kufanya public participation. Kwa nini iwe na uzito sana ambao unatiliwa mpaka nahisi kwamba hapana, labda wangenisikiza kwamba kwanza wananchi then wafanye public participation?
Tumekuwa na historia hapo awali ya kwamba huu si mchakato wa kwanza wa kisiasa wa kumngatua mtu mkubwa kutoka mamlakani, la tumekuwa na magavana ambao wamengatuliwa kutoka mamlaka yao, tumekuwa na manaibu wa magavana ambao wamengatuliwa kutoka mamlakani. Kwa hivyo ukizingatia maamuzi ambayo yametoka kutoka mahakama yetu ya Kenya, haswa kesi ya mheshimiwa Mike Mbuvi Sonko, haswa ukizingatia kesi ambayo ilikuwa inajaribu kumsaidia yule aliyekuwa gavana wa jimbo la Wajir, koti letu lilitoa uamuzi na likasema ya kwamba usipopitisha ama mswada huu usipopelekwa kwa wananchi ili wananchi pia wawe na usemi, kwa sababu taifa ni lao, kiongozi ni wao, na ukitaka kumngatua linawahusu wao, kwa sababu wao ndio huwa wanamlipa ile mshahara wao. Kwa hivyo kama unamngatua kutoka mamlaka yake lazima uwahusishe wananchi, na ndiposa hapa tunaona bunge ambalo limesoma limeelezewa la kwamba ili tusikosee tujaribu kujisitiri, mambo ya kuwahusisha wananchi tuwahusishe, hata kama angani kidogo, hata kama ni kuigiza, lakini baadaye hapo tutaona venye kutakuwa.
Asante. Wacha nije kwake bwana wakili Chesa wewe ni wakili katika mahakama kuu. Naibu rais ameonyesha imani sana kwamba iwapo tutaweza huku tumerudi tutaenda katika bunge la seneti iko sawa, mwisho wa kusha, yani niko hapa mimi sitajiuzulu, nitapambana hadi mahakamani. Ina maana kwamba na imani na mahakama. Taja tu kidogo kuhusiana na swala la public participation, iwapo maoni ya wananchi yanasaidia mahakama kwa vyote vile, iwapo hii kesi itafika katika mahakama kuu, labda ya mahakama ya upeo, kama maoni ya wananchi yanasaidia mahakama katika kufanya maamuzi ni vipi basi au impeach ama hapana?
Nakubaliana na ndugu yangu Shadrack na wakili mwenzangu kwamba swala la kuhusishwa kwa umma, public participation, ni swala muhimu, na hili swala litakuwa ni swala nyeti katika mjadala wa mahakama, litakuwa swala tajika, na mahakama italazimika kutangaza waziwazi katika uamuzi wake iwapo kulikuwa na umma kuhusishwa. Na kama wakili wa Rigathi katika pengine haya mazungumzo anavyosema kwamba public participation haikutendeka, nasema kwamba ile ilikuwa Jumamosi, huyu ndugu yangu alikuwa mwana SDA. Mimi nikiwa wakili wa bunge ile siku nitasema kwamba tukisema tutangaza siku ya dini, hakutakuwa na siku ambayo hatuna muda, kwa sababu Ijumaa Waislamu wanaabudu, Jumamosi wana SDA, Jumapili wa Katoliki, kuanzia Jumatatu hadi Jumanne pengine watu wa dini ya Msambwa pia wanaabudu, na wasiokuwa na imani wanaabudu Alhamisi. Kwa hivyo hakutakuwa na siku yoyote. Ni swala ambalo mahakama itakuwa na shida kubwa kulitatua. Lakini mbona sasa swali la kuhusishwa kwa umma liwe swala nyeti sasa kwa makamu wa rais, iwapo anajua ana nafasi ya kimahakama ya kujitetea mbele ya mahakama, na angehusishwa kwa njia gani? Kuhusishwa kwa naibu wa rais ni kufikishwa mbele ya bunge la taifa na kufika mbele ya kamati ya seneti itakayoundwa ili ahusishwe. Na ninafikiri kwamba anaendelea kufanya kosa baada ya kosa. Angenyenyekea aende kwenye mbele ya bunge la taifa, aweke kesi yake, asiposikizwa aende mbele ya seneti, na anapoelekea kwenye huu mchakato awe anaandika chini vile vidokezo ambavyo anadhani kwamba wabunge wanakiuka. Jana alisema swala potovu sana, kusema kwamba siwezi chaguliwa na Wakenya milioni 7 alafu watu wachache waniondoe kwenye ofisi. Hajui kwamba katiba ya Kenya inaruhusu wale watu wachache wanapofuata kanuni ya sheria kumuondoa. Hata rais mwenyewe ndio rais wa taifa, lakini katiba inapea bunge la taifa mamlaka ya kuanzisha mchakato utaka ukamilika kwenye bunge la seneti. Kwa hivyo haya maongezi yake yenye kejeli hayamsaidii. Kumbuka anasifu mahakama sasa kwa sababu anategemea usaidizi wake. Hapo awali alikejeli mahakama akisema kwamba Jaji Maina aondolewe. Jaji Maina ni mfisadi kwa sababu Jaji Maina alipeana uamuzi wa kisheria ambao haukuupenda na hakukata rufaa kwenye ule uamuzi. So iwapo pia mahakama itakosa kumtetea, utasikia akisema kwamba pengine serikali imenua mahakama. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa kumwomba naibu wa rais kwamba awe mpole. Pengine amezoea kumchinja kuku, leo ni zamu yake ya kumchinja kondoo. Lazima awe na subira, kwa sababu anaendelea kutuambia kwamba miti yote imeendelea kuteleza na pengine wakati wa nyani kufa umefika.
Hai, mtazamaji, ndio haya mambo hapo studioni. Tunaangazia siku hii ya kihistoria ambapo naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua anatarajiwa katika bunge la taifa. Atakuwa na masaa 2 ya kuweza kujitetea. Je, itakuwa vipi? Na mwelekezi wangu ananipeleka mbio sana, tuna muda mfupi sana leo, lakini hamna wasiwasi, tutapambana vile tutaweza. Nirudi kwako Gisore kidogo, tusonge mbele. Tutoke mahakamani, manake tukishinda pale najua pia hatutamalizia. Iwapo naibu rais atakosa kubanduliwa kisiasa na utendakazi wake katika serikali pamoja na Rais Ruto, tutarajie nini? Hasa baada ya mengi ambayo yataja pia jana, manake tutazungumza baadaye muda ukiruhusu, akisema kuna mambo mengi ambayo sasa hizi tunafaa kwa tunaangazia, ikiwemo ufisadi na mambo mengine. Iwapo hata banduliwa.
Swali mzuri, but nijibu pia kidogo hiyo wamekuwa kichangia. Mbona public participation ni muhimu? Kwa sababu kile kiti ambacho anashikilia kama naibu wa rais is a constitutional office, na constitution ndio inasema public participation ifanyike. Na swali ambalo kidogo litakuwa tukienda mahakama ambayo utaki niongelee, itakuwa kwamba hiyo public participation, was it quantitative, was it qualitative? Koti imesema kwa mara kadha wa kadha kwamba lazima ikue yote. Kulingana na mimi niko na reservation zangu kama waliweza kufika hiyo threshold. So hilo tuliachia hapo, tunangoja kuliona pale mbele ambapo mambo ikifika kotini wataweza kungamua kwamba kulikuwa yenye ilikuwa qualitative ama quantitative, kufikia kile kiwango ambacho sheria na koti zimeweza kuamua hapo mbeleni. Ya pili ambayo umeuliza ni kwamba itakuwa vipi. Hilo swali aliweza kuulizwa pale jana na aliweza kusema let's cross the bridge when we get there. Niliona kwamba ni mtu ambaye amejipanga kwa vyovyote vile. Anajua kuna vita hapa mbele, waje ajipange na hiyo vita. Sikubaliani na ndugu yangu ambaye anasema kwamba ni siku ya nyani kufa. Mimi namuona kama ni mtu ambaye ameamua kujitetea kwa vyovyote vile. Umeamua kunipaka tope, wacha mchezo ianze. Tupakane tope, Wakenya waamue, vile vyombo vya sheria viamue. Hata kama koti amekuwa amekejeli mbeleni, koti yetu ni koti ambayo inafaa kubeba kila mtu. Ambapo zile haki zake zimedhulumiwa, koti haifai kuangalia zile mambo za kitambo kwamba alitamka akisema hivi. ni koti inafaa kuamua kulingana na vile sheria iko, kwa sababu wale majaji tunasema kwamba should be a sober judge. So judge hafai kukuwa na pande yote mbili lintusi jana sasa leo ndakulipishia nikiwa nimekaa kwenye kiti. Hatutakuwa na haki. Mimi naweza kusema kwamba Bwana Rigathi aweze kutengeneza defense yake, aweze kuifortify, aweze kwenda mbele, na hii ni wakati mzuri kama wa Kenya, kwa sababu hakuna taifa lingine tunaweza kushuhudia mambo kama haya ambapo naibu wa rais anangamuliwa. Aliweza kusema rais amepeana kidole ile hotu ile nini hoja iende pale bunge. Sasa tunashindwa, hiyo ndio kitu itakuwa ngumu sana, kwa sababu hilo ni swali aliulizwa akasema yes rais amekubali. So tutaweza kujua vile wataweza kujipendekeza baada ya hiyo hoja ikimalizika, whether amengamuliwa ama ataka. Na ile hii ni process refu. Kumtoa mamlaka itakuwa rahisi, hata kama both houses za impeach bado kuna court, na court inaenda all the process. So tunaweza kupata kwamba hakuna mahali ataenda. So tukae chini tusubiri na tuendelee kushawishi vyombo zilizopewa na mamlaka na constitution kufanya kazi yao, na tuombe taifa letu liwe taifa salama.
Kabla turejee kwa televisheni na pia tuangalie maoni machache kwa wananchi, Bwana Shadrack pale kwa iwapo hata banduliwa na vile uhusiano wake na rais upo, na jambo moja ni kama ameashiria ni kama mkono wa rais huo katika swala zima hili. Huenda ndo sababu rais hajazungumza muda huu wote. Wengi walitaraji labda wakati naibu wake alijitokeza kuomba msamaha, iwapo alisema iwapo amekosea labda hata angesema jambo tu, lakini amenyamaza muda mrefu wote huu. Inaashiria nini?
Kwa kweli ni ngumu sana kumshawishi mtu ambaye ana akili zake timamu ya kwamba rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya Daktari William Samoei Ruto hana mkono wake katika mchakato huu wote ambao tunauona. Huu ni naibu wake, na madai mengi ambayo yametoka pale ni mambo ambayo inasemekana ya kwamba alikuwa anakosea rais heshima. Mmoja wapo ya wale mashahidi ambao wamejitokeza ni madam fulani anayejiita Masi Wanjau, ambaye ni secretary katika cabinet katika cabinet. Kwa hivyo yule ni mtu ambaye amepokea ruhusa kutoka rais aende akaweze kutoa ushahidi wake. Lakini cha kweli ni kwamba mimi napoangalia mchakato huu wote, kwa kweli ni kwamba pasipo na ile pengine risk, basi hakutakuwa na malipo. Na hilo ni jambo ambalo nadhani naibu wa rais kidogo ameshaelewa hapo awali, ingawaje hatukuona kichwa cha rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kikiwa pale katika guillotine ama akiwa katika hatari. Ikumbukwe mwaka 2008, kutoka mwaka 2008 kufikia mwaka 2022 kulikuwa na ile BBI ambayo ilikuwa inapendekezwa na rais wa Jamhuri ya Taifa wakati huo Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta na kinara wa Azimio huyu rais Raila Amolo Odinga. Na ikumbukwe ya kwamba naibu wa rais wakati huo William Ruto, yeye alijiweka kama mtu ambaye alikuwa anajaribu kutetea wananchi, na akapinga sana ile BBI na akaelekea pale mahakamani. Mmoja wapo wa washauri wake David ndiye alikuwa one of the petitioners kwa ile kesi, na hii ni kesi ambayo ilipanda juu mpaka koti ya upeo kabisa, na uamuzi ukatoka ambapo ni uamuzi ambao ilijaribu kutuashiria kwamba naibu wa rais wakati huo aliweza kushinda. Na ndiposa nikidhani kwa tathmini zangu ni kwamba wananchi wakaonelea kwamba mtu huyu anatupigania sisi, na ndiposa akaweza kuvuna sana wakati wa uchaguzi wa 2022. Ukiangalia sasa ni mambo tu ni sawa, tofauti tu ni kwamba huyu mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua amejiweka hatarini, kwa sababu process ya kwenda kotini pia huwa ni ngumu sana, na ndiposa hawa wanasheria watakuelezea kwamba kuna zile kesi ambazo zinasemekana ni kesi mzuri. You have strong cases that are lost and we have weak cases that are won. Kwa hivyo anaweza kuwa na kesi mzuri na dakika ya mwisho aende akaipoteze, ama anaweza kuwa na kesi hafifu na dakika ya mwisho aende akaishinde. Kwa hivyo hii ni risk tu ambayo iko pale, na atakapofua dafu katika mchakato huu wote atatokea kama mtu imara, mtu jasiri, na ikifikia hapo mwaka 2027 atakuwa na ushawishi mkubwa sana katika jamhuri yetu ya Kenya.
Shikilia pale kabla nikuje kwako Bwana Echesa. Mtazamaji wa Channel 1, tutakuwa tunarejea Channel 1 tupate utabiri wa hali ya hewa, na kisha baadaye tupate documentary fulani kuhusiana nafikiri bunge la taifa, alafu tutaweza kuendelea. Lakini upande wa pili wa redio basi mjadala mzima unaendelea. KBC Radio Taifa, sauti ya Mkenya. Na dakika chache ambazo tumesalia nazo Bwana Echesa, sijui unasemaje katika swala hili ambalo tumeweza kuligusia kwamba
Pascal, wewe hujui ninavyohisi kwa kufahamu kuwa Kabiru anakamatia mchanga wa nje.
Achana na Linda. Acha kulazimisha Linda kukupenda.
Siri. No. Wewe ni mkubwa wangu. Yote ulionishauri nimetekeleza. Ila nimegundua kuwa Kabiru ni mtu tofauti sana.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
Nasema kuna askari alichapwa.
Vibaya sana. Tena alikuwa analia kama mtoto.
Akapiga nduru.
Kama ya mama.
Ilikuwa inasikika umbali gani?
Ilikuwa 500,000 kilometers.
Wewe, ongea ile kitu unaelewa.
How did I beat you? Ati mimi peke yangu, angalia height yako, angalia height yangu. Mimi ungesema nilikutolea bunduki ilikuwa mambo ingine. Mimi peke yangu niengezaje kukupiga?
Alimkunguta, alimuchapa, wacha alimuchapa vibaya. Mpaka huyo askari anaanza kulia kama kitoto. Wewe mama, wewe mama.
Wewe.
Mpaya huyo ameenda China.
Sasa wewe, na hii mwili yako yote. Huyu mzee anaweza kukupiga.
Sasa wacha tu nikuuliza hata wewe.
Nijibu kwanza.
Si urani? Wanakimbia?
No, how do you run? Na wewe mwenyewe uko na bunduki, si ndio?
Alikuwa na bunduki mwenzangu.
Mimi nauliza wewe.
Hata mimi nakuuliza wewe, alikuwa na bunduki?
Hawezi kujibu swali na swali.
I know this is your doing, but things aren't going to stay this way. Because very soon, you and I are going to meet without these bars between us.
Isabel is the most important woman in my life, is that clear?
Daniel will surely kill you with his very own hands.
Who is the stupid one who agreed to it?
Daniel!
Who did it? That's enough.
I did, Danielle.
Why don't you stop throwing yourself at my son? He doesn't want anything to do with you.
That fire was a brilliant plan, brother. What if someone dies? Well, that'll be bad for the Oteros. Besides, not much would be lost anyway. Wildlands.
Kamele, can I borrow a few minutes of your time?
Where Tito? Time is money.
Beautiful.
Mila on the wall. Who is the beautiful among them all? Yes, and that's me.
Don't worry. If I'm elected as the school president, I will make sure there is a kids playground for those of who have kids.
Mimi na nani? Hebu nitoe kwa hiyo hesabu kabisa.
That leader is none other than Bosila here. Bosila for president.
Why Tito for president?
Bosila for president.
Why Tito for president?
Bosila for president.
Why Tito for president?
Bosila for president.
Bosila for president.
Wherever you go, wherever you stay.
My name is Ethan Caesar. I'm in grade 5 Bethlehem in Sitam Schools at the River, and I play football. I was inspired by the way Foden played. I wanted to become like him.
With a narrative entitled Kasupu. Once upon a time, in the great village of Sibolongi.
Today I'm going to show you how to make the tastiest tomato puree at the comfort of your home. It's just perfect as a side dish for rice, fries, or even potatoes.
By Kibwezi Member of Parliament, Honorable Mwengi Mutuse. And the National Assembly sitting today to consider the special motion by Kibwezi West Member of Parliament, Honorable Kibwezi Mutuse, seeking the removal of the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, through impeachment. We expect the National Assembly to proceed to consider this motion for the better part of today. And here is a little explainer on the process prepared by the Parliamentary Media Relations Officer, Muremi Mwangi, on the process of the impeachment motion and the subsequent actions. Let's have a look.
After the National Assembly undertook nationwide public participation on Friday 4th October 2024 and Saturday 5th October 2024 across the 290 constituencies on the special motion by Kibwezi West MP Honorable Mwengi Mutuse for the proposed removal from office of the Deputy President through impeachment.
That is the Speaker.
The House reconvenes on Tuesday, 8th October 2024 to consider the special motion.
I urge each one of us and the public to truly grasp the magnitude of the unprecedented journey the House is about to undertake.
During the Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 morning sitting, the House agreed that the mover will have 60 minutes to move the special motion. The Deputy President will also be accorded 2 hours to address the House uninterrupted. Thereafter, the mover has another 30 minutes to reply, after which the Speaker will open the floor for debate. According the Leader of Majority Party and the Leader of the Minority Party, 10 minutes each to address the House. Other honorable members who wish to contribute to the debate have been accorded a maximum of 5 minutes each.
The proposal that we have 5 minutes for members and 60 minutes for the mover is something which I would like to second, and I would like to appeal to members to support. Thank you.
We wish to move that the Deputy President is accorded an opportunity to be in this House and be heard.
The Deputy President, or the President as the case may be, shall be accorded an opportunity to be heard in accordance with Standing Order 67B2. That's the right to be heard. Opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
2 of the National Assembly accords the House only 7 days to dispose after the notice has been given. This window closes on Tuesday, October 8, 2024. The tabling of the report of the just concluded public participation and move the special motion before it is seconded. By a general debate.
This is an inquiry into it is also of the resilience of the constitutional designed by the framers.
Pursuant to and 150 of the Constitution of Kenya, if the motion does not receive the support of 2/3 of the 300 Assembly, 133. However, if it is supported by at least 2/3 of the 349 members of the National Assembly, shall inform his Senate counterpart within 2 days of the resolution. The Senate Speaker subsequently has House to hear the charges against the Deputy President. The Senate, by resolution, investigate their or appoint an 11-member committee to investigate the matter. The Senate must conclude and vote on the impeachment within 10 days. At least 45 senators must vote in favor of the impeachment. Charges to be upheld and for the Deputy President to cease to hold office.
I have no doubt that we will rise to this defining moment, that we shall confront this test with dignity, resolve, and utmost integrity. I am confident that the House shall prove itself worthy of the trust placed on it by the Constitution and the people of Kenya.
At Parliament of Kenya, Muremi Mwangi briefly giving us the steps that this special motion by Honorable Member for Kibwezi West will be taking for the better part of today, and in the event that the House votes for the impeachment, the steps that will be undertaken when the motion is transmitted to the Senate. Well, this morning, the House is sitting to consider the special motion on the proposed removal by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. This being a special motion by Kibwezi West Member of Parliament, Honorable Mwengi Mutuse, that has indicated in his motion, in his special motion rather, that pursuant to the provisions of Article 145 and 150 subsection 1B and 2 of the Constitution, and equally Standing Orders 64 and 65, the House resolves to remove from office by impeachment His Excellency Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. The Honorable Member has gone ahead to list the grounds for the impeachment. Among them, our dear viewers, if I may just take you through, charge number 1 is on the gross violation of Articles 10, subsection 2A and B, as well as C, and Article 27, subsection 4, and Article 73, subsection 1A and 2 of the Constitution, as read together with Article 131, subsection 2C and D of the Constitution. The Honourable Member for Kibwezi has listed charge number 2 as gross violation of Articles 147, subsection 1, 152, subsection 1 of the Constitution, where he claims the Deputy President has been undermining the President and the Cabinet and the effective discharge of the national government, which is the executive mandate. Gross violation of the Constitution on grounds number 160, subsection 1 of the Constitution on matters institutional and decisional independence of judges is yet another charge. This is charge number 4 in regards to this special motion. Charge number 5 pertains the gross violation of Articles 3, subsection 1 and Articles 148, subsection 5A of the Constitution on the fidelity of the oath of office. In the motion, the Honourable Member says that the Deputy President breached his oath of office and allegiance on account of utterances and actions attributed to his office, that is the office of the Deputy President, under grounds number 1, 2, and 3. Grounds number 1, 2, and 3 are gross violation of articles of the Constitution, and charge number 3 is in regards to the gross violation of Articles 6, subsection 2, where the member says that under the 4th schedule of the Constitution, the Deputy President has been undermining devolution. Well, apart from the 11 charges stated in the special motion this morning, the honourable members of Parliament who signed for the impeachment motion in their numbers, that is 291, have been listed in today's order paper this morning, technically indicating that the business of the consideration of this special motion, which will stand as a substantive motion this morning by Honourable Member for Kibwezi West, Honourable Mwengi Mutuse, will be ready for debate and voting today. Well, and to just take you through more in regards to this special motion that members of the National Assembly will be debating and voting on this morning, is that the standing orders of the National Assembly, according to the newly amended standing orders of the 13th Parliament, standing orders number 64, subsection 2 of the National Assembly, accords the House a number of 7 days to dispose of a motion after the notice has been given. We had the member for Kibwezi West giving a notice of motion in regards to the impeachment of the Deputy President, which was given on the 1st of October. The House has until today, which is the 8th of October, to debate as well as vote on the motion. According to the rulings by the Speaker of the National Assembly, the House requires 233 members for the charges to be upheld. So what we expect this morning is that we'll be expecting the tabling of the report of matters public participation exercise that was conducted on the 2nd and the 5th of October. Remember, after the House gazetted the 2nd of October as the day for public participation, we had an extension of 1 day, and we will be expecting that report that was presided over by clerks of the National Assembly across the 47 counties to be tabled this morning. Thereafter, the tabling of that report that will hugely inform the debate as well as probably guide members in regards to the manner in which the House will be voting for the motion today on a sitting that is set to take place from 9 a.m. up to midnight, which is has been listed as upon conclusion of this business. The mover of the motion will be called upon to move his motion. Honourable Mwengi Mutuse has been allocated an hour to move the motion and, so to speak, convince members in regards to the grounds that he has listed in the motion. Members of Parliament will equally this afternoon, as well as for the better part of this morning, be debating this motion. It has been allocated about 7 hours for debate by members. We'll also be expecting the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to appear before the National Assembly plenary this morning, as well as afternoon, at a time appointed by the Speaker in his defense in regards to the 11 charges leveled against him by the member for Kibwezi West, Honorable Mwengi Mutuse. By the end of business today, or before midnight, the House will have decided on the fate of this motion. We require about 233 members to vote to uphold the charges for the impeachment, and under Articles 145 and 150 of the Constitution, if the motion is supported by 233 members of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Moses Wetangula, will then communicate in regards to the upholding of the impeachment of the Deputy President to the Speaker of the Senate within 2 days. And in the event that the motion does not meet the required threshold, that is 233 members of the National Assembly, then the motion stands defeated and the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya continues to hold office. We are awaiting for the business of the National Assembly to commence any moment from now to consider the impeachment motion against the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And in the event that this motion is upheld today, that is before midnight, and the Speaker of the National Assembly communicates to the Senate Speaker, Honorable Amason Kingi, in regards to the decision by the House to impeach the Deputy President, the Speaker of the Senate, in regards to the Constitution and the standing orders of the Senate, is expected and must convene a sitting of the Senate within 7 days of receiving the resolution of the National Assembly. And after convening a sitting of the Senate, the House must decide either to establish an 11-member committee or to investigate the charges facing the Deputy President under plenary, where all the 67 senators will be hearing the matter in plenary before voting. Similarly, as in the National Assembly, where the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, will today be expected to appear in his defense and convince the members of the National Assembly as to why the grounds listed in the special motion do not hold any water. In the event the House upholds his impeachment or votes to impeach him, the Deputy President will equally be expected to appear yet again at the Senate to convince senators as to why the House should not uphold his impeachment by the National Assembly. In regards to the Constitution of Kenya and the House standing orders, the Senate must conclude the investigation, hearing and voting on matters impeachment yet again within 10 days after it is convened and has received a resolution from the National Assembly. At the Senate, we will be needing at least 45 senators to vote in favor of the impeachment motion for any of the charges to be upheld, for the Deputy President to cease from holding office. But that will be a matter of wait and see to see if indeed this motion that has 11 grounds listed as the grounds for impeachment will be making its way to the Senate after the House votes to impeach the Honorable Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, or if indeed the matter will be resting today if the House fails to attain the required number of 233 members. Dear viewers, remember, an impeachment by the National Assembly has to be vetoed by the Senate of Kenya, and in the moment and in the event the House votes to impeach the Deputy President, that matter must be heard and decided yet again at the Senate, where the House will be investigating whether the National Assembly indeed had substantiated the 11 grounds for the removal from office of the Deputy President. Now it is upon the Honorable Member for Kibwezi West, Honorable Mwengi Mutuse, as well as his witnesses, to convince the House that his 11 grounds really do hold water and the Deputy President really has committed an offense or offenses that, so to speak, warrant an impeachment. And to just take you through the grounds for the impeachment this morning, among them is a gross misconduct by persistently bullying state and public officers. This is charge number 11. Charge number 10, Honorable Mwengi Mutuse has accused the Deputy President of gross misconduct by openly or publicly insubordinating the President, who is the head of state and government. That the Deputy President has shown gross misconduct that is incapable with the high calling and dignified state of the office of the President, and equally having served as a member of the Cabinet and a member of the National Security Council. According to the move of the motion, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, has publicly attacked and undermined the work of the National Intelligence Service and its offices and officers. The further grounds listed in the motion by the mover is that, according to the mover of this motion, there are serious reasons to believe that the Deputy President has committed gross economic crimes under Article 45, subsection 1, Article 46 and 47, subsection A and 3 of the Constitution in regards to the Proceeds of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act. This is in regards to the Proceeds of Crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act. Dear viewers, if you're just joining us, the business of the National Assembly is just about to commence. The Speaker's procession, closely followed by the Speaker of the National Assembly, has made its way into the chamber this morning, signaling that the business of the National Assembly is just about to commence any moment now. Allow me to hand over for this live broadcast brought to you by the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. My name is Gladys Mungai. Have yourself a great morning.
Waheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu. Tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tunakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako siendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Honorable members, we have quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Take your seats. Member for Trans Nzoia, take the nearest seat. Honorable members, I have a short communication in relation to the motion for the removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Honorable members, as you will recall, on Tuesday, 1st October 2024, the member for Kibwezi West, the Honorable Ekomas Mwengi Mutuse MP, gave notice of a special motion seeking a resolution of the House for the removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Thereafter, upon consideration of the notice, the House Business Committee, at its sitting of the same day, resolved inter alia that the sitting of Thursday, 3rd October 2024 be suspended, which it was, that in the intervening period, the Clerk of the National Assembly collects and collates public views on the proposed impeachment on Friday, 4th October 2024. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. Take the nearest seat. Okay. That a procedural motion be moved to provide for the speaking time during the debate on the special motion, and that consideration of the special motion be undertaken today, Tuesday, 8th October 2024. Honorable members, as you are aware, public participation sessions were held on 4th and 5th October 2024 in all constituencies. I also note that the public participation exercise, which commenced on 2nd October 2024 with the invite to members of the public to submit views, included the collection of physical and electronic views, some of which were submitted by Kenyans in the diaspora. Whereas the earlier directive by the House Business Committee had intended to centrally collect views from all constituencies at identified locations in each county, in keeping with the orders of the High Court sitting in Kerugoya dated 4th October 2024, the collection of views was extended to 5th October 2024 to include all 290 constituency offices and the 47 county women representatives offices, being offices under the Parliamentary Service Commission. This additional time and coverage ensured the inclusion of a higher number of respondents from across the country. Notably, this extended time also saw the submission of additional views through hand delivery to the office of the clerk, as well as through electronic means. Honorable members, on behalf of the House Business Committee and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to appreciate you for your support during the public participation sessions and commend you for your conduct during the exercise. You took a lead in ensuring the public were well informed of the process and refrained from commenting on the merits or otherwise of the motion, whether in public or on the media. This is how it is supposed to be. Contrary to media reports on the general absence of members in the various venues at which public participation was conducted, I wish to clarify that the absence was in keeping with the requirements of the standing orders. Having said that, honorable members, I wish to inform you that the views collected during the exercise have since been collated and compiled into a report which was noted by the House Business Committee at its meeting held yesterday, 7th October 2024. The House Business Committee has designated the Honorable Millie Odhiambo Mabona MP, one of its members, to table the report on its behalf under Order Number 5. At an appropriate time in the course of today's proceedings, I will allow the Honorable Minority Whip a maximum of 15 minutes to give an overview of the process undertaken and the contents of the report. It's expected that as the House debates the motion, members will take into consideration the views of the public as expressed between 2nd and 5th October 2024. I therefore call upon committees to take a keen interest in the report and isolate matters that fall under their respective mandates for possible consideration, reporting, and approval by the House. Honourable members, may I remind the House of the resolution on the limitation of time as resolved on Wednesday, 2nd October 2024. The mover will have a maximum of 60 minutes in moving and a maximum of 30 minutes to reply. All other members will have a maximum of 5 minutes except the leader of the majority party and the leader of the minority party and the member seconding the motion, who will each have a maximum of 10 minutes. This is in addition to the 15 minutes allocated to the minority whip to highlight the contents of the report of the public participation. Honourable members, permit me to also remind members of the provisions of Part 14 of our standing orders on the rules of debate, Part 16, on the rules of debate that ought to guide today's proceedings. Notably, members should strictly restrict their contributions to matters that are relevant to the motion before the House and not the provisions of Standing Order 91, responsibility for statement of fact. The Standing Order notes that a member is solely responsible for the accuracy of any facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. Additional only members will recall that ordinarily Standing Order 95, closure of debate, and Standing Order 96, adjournment of debate, allow a member to hasten the conclusion of a debate on a motion or delay the conclusion of a debate on a motion, respectively. However, these two standing orders do not apply with respect to the consideration of a special motion, such as the one that is before the House today. I will therefore not entertain any call for the mover to reply or any dilatory motion to be moved until the debate scheduled for today is concluded. Honourable members, I'm sure that you are all aware of the rules of natural justice which require that no person should be condemned unheard. This rule is embodied in our Standing Order 67B2, right to be heard, and pursuant to this standing order, I will accord the Deputy President and or his representatives that opportunity to be heard at 5 p.m. for a maximum of period of 2 hours. Thereafter, the mover will be called upon to reply, following which the House will proceed to vote on the special motion. Further to the offense to the special motion before the House. Whereas Standing Order 85 prohibits members of this House from anticipating debate of a motion for which notice has been given, the Standing Order, when broadly interpreted, also extends to non-members, especially persons affected by such motions. Noting that the special motion is scheduled for debate and voting today, I believe that the Deputy President ought to have exercised restraint and refrained from holding the press interview. It is noteworthy that the Deputy President has been given an opportunity to appear before this House to make his response to the motion in accordance with the rules of natural justice. Be that as it may, I will not wear the hat of a judge on this matter, but permit me to put it on record that the conduct was, to say the least, abhorrent and decided conduct in the light of the proceedings scheduled to commence the House. The House is accordingly guided and will now move to the next business. Members, take your seats. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 8th October 2024, morning sitting. 1, special audit report of the Auditor General on illicit financial flows in Kenya. Focus on management of tax exemption on public infrastructure projects by foreign companies for September 2024. 2, annual report and financial statements of Kenya Civil Aviation Authority for the year ended 30th June 2023. 3, the annual report of the National Police Service Commission for the financial year 2023 to 2024. 4, the audited financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 from the Central Bank of Kenya. And 5, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of the following. 1, the Retirement Benefits Authority, and 2, the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, order members. Reduce the levels of conversation. Minority Party Whip, the Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 8th of October 2024. Report of the public participation on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you.
Soda.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, special motion, proposed removal by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
Honorable Mwengi Mutuse Ekomas, you may take the floor. Begin. Can the majority and minority leaders approach the chair? Honorable members, as we start the motion, a slight variation on my communication. The majority leader and the minority leaders in the House will prefer to speak immediately after the subject of the motion speaks, before the mover is called upon to reply. I have acceded to their request and it's so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
for the opportunity to move the special motion on the impeachment of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. Mr. Speaker and honorable members.
Start Mwenge Mutuse by saying, I beg to move the following motion and read the motion as it is on the order paper. What you probably can skip is reading out all the names of the members which you read. Just say this, the members who signed the motion are set out on the order paper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move the following motion that pursuant to the provisions of Article 145 and Article 151B and 2 of the Constitution and Standing Orders number 64 and 65, the House resolves to remove from office by impeachment His Excellency Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, on the following grounds. 1, gross violation of Articles 10(2)(a), B and C, Article 27(4), Article 73(1)(a), and 2B, Article 75(1)(c), Article 29(2) of the Constitution, and Article 147(1) as read together with Article 131(2)(c) and D of the Constitution. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, has persistently made utterances threatening to discriminate, exclude, and unlawfully deny sections of the people of Kenya and regions of the Republic of Kenya equal opportunities for public service appointments and allocation of public resources. Ground number 2, gross violation of Articles 147(1) and 152(1) of the Constitution by undermining the President and the Cabinet and the effective discharge of national government's executive mandate. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, has made unilateral statements inconsistent with policy positions collectively adopted by the government and contradicted the President on critical matters of governance and the exercise of the President's function as a symbol of national unity. 3, gross violation of Articles 6(2), 10(2)(a), 174, 186(1), 189(1), and the 4th schedule to the Constitution by undermining devolution. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, interfered with the running of Nairobi City County Government by inciting citizens against lawful directives of the county government on the planning and relocation of markets and publicly disparaging the leadership of the county government and its decisions. 4, gross violation of Article 161 of the Constitution on the institutional and decisional independence of judges. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, has undermined the institutional and decisional independence of a judge through public attacks on a judge of the High Court of Kenya and falsely threatening to file a petition for the removal of the said judge in a matter in which he was a party. 5, gross violation of Article 3(1) and Article 148(5)(a) of the Constitution on the fidelity to the oath of office and allegiance. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, breached his oath of office and allegiance on account of the utterances and actions attributed to the Deputy President under grounds 1, 2, and 3. 6, serious reasons to believe that His Excellency, the Deputy President,